From unsolved mysteries to unexplained phenomena, from comedy gold to relationship fails, Amazon Music's got the most ad-free top podcasts, included with Prime. Because the only thing that should interrupt your listening is, well, nothing. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Legend has it that it was written by the Dark Ones, Necronomicon Ex Mortis. Roughly translated, Book of the Dead. The book served as a passageway to the evil worlds beyond. It was written long ago, when the seas ran red with blood. It was this blood that was used to ink the book. Book of the Dead.
Happy birthday, Nate!
Oh my God, guys! Hey, all right. Thank you for coming,
I don't care
man.
if you have a good birthday.
Oh well, thanks, Corey. That's why
but
you got invited
birthday.
last. But yeah, no, thank you. Like, look, guys, I know that it's been kind of a crazy year, and we've been, throwing Savage Horror Creeps parties and doing all sorts of stuff like that. But I was just really excited to just do something different. And, I've been reading a lot lately. And so thank you for coming to the first Savage Horror Creeps book club party, man.
Thanks for having us.
This is going to be great. Thank you.
I prefer movies, but okay.
Yeah, so does everyone else that I pitched this idea to. So, yeah. But it's my birthday, and you're here, and you brought your damn books. So here we go.
I actually broke into your house last night, and...
What?
You have an attic that you never use.
Yeah, because why do I need an attic?
Well, I set up the book club spot so we can all...
In the attic?
Yeah, I set up chairs.
I've only been in the attic once, and I've lived here for 7 years.
There's a cake up there. It's a little musty, but I opened up a window. It's going to be perfect. We should go up there and do the book club up
You left
there.
a cake in the attic?
Yeah.
The attic that has not been open for 7 years.
It's only been up there since
I'm sure it'll keep.
night.
Okay, fine. I mean, hey, thank you. You know what? Thank you for doing something
welcome.
special for my birthday. That's what it's all about. Okay. All right, let's go upstairs.
Let's get up the stairs here. All right, come on, guys. I came in through the window, so there's actually...
Yep.
Spider webs and
dusty as shit. Sorry, guys. I would have had I known we were going to spend my birthday in the attic. I would have cleaned the attic and maybe got the bats out of here. And I'm pretty sure that's a dead mouse, which means there's probably live ones in here. Great, lovely. Anyway, oh, Jesus Christ! There's a cat up here.
Yeah.
How long has this cat been up here? Why is it in my attic?
Who
feeds this cat?
Yeah, what does it eat? Oh, it's probably the mice. All right. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad I have a cat up here.
Chocolate drops in the cake. This okay to eat?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to make sure those were
I
intentional.
made it myself, guys.
Yeah. Oh, well, then that's definitely shit. All right. Anyway, so all
So I
right.
got little seats around here.
Oh
See,
my
I'm gonna light
God.
these candles. Look, I even did a salt pentagram.
You put a salt pentagram in, and there's candles everywhere. Wait a minute. This could have burnt my house down. You did this last night? These candles have been going since last night.
Yeah.
What if I burnt up in my sleep?
I would have been there to save you.
I mean, night goes on into the morning,
often
right?
are you-
Corey? I mean,
It was this
what time
morning.
did you do it? Okay,
It was this
I was going
morning.
to say, how often have you been in my house
There's
where you're going to
probably
save
enough
me from
asbestos
fires?
in here to prevent the fires.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. Yeah, I'm feeling my lungs crystallize as we speak. But anyway, you know what? Again, it's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
counts.
birthday.
And yeah, so thank you for.
So everybody have a seat. Have a seat.
All right.
All right, I'll grab this corner of the Salt Star here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This is
Like
cozy.
Some Devil Rides Out vibe here,
we're
Corey.
all going to talk
Yeah.
about books. We're going to talk about books we've made, our favorite books, things like that. And I actually went on the dark web very early. And I was looking for the most evil book in the world, like looking for like the real
Did you get, like, the
Necronomicon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no,
Sure, yeah.
That's not real.
We didn't get the Book of the Dead. That's more of like
that's like a fiction thing.
Not even the
That's like
H.P.
a 50th.
Lovecraft version.
But I
Right,
did
right. You
find
get the
this
Book of the
old
Dead.
evil wizard on the dark web that sells this book. It's called the Creep Chronicles. Okay.
the Creep Chronicles.
So, and I figure later on as we go
man.
by, it's
Cool, you found a book.
there's a whole lore behind this. I spent a lot of money on this, and I actually had to send the guy skin and blood as trade. It was like the shipping was a piece of your body. So actually,
Where did you get that?
Well, I took some hair from you. I grabbed an old cigarette butt.
It's a fucking
from
bald
me.
spot I woke up to with the
So
other
this
day.
wizard does have our DNA and
just my
our.
advanced age.
You know, I noticed I was circumcised this morning when I woke up.
Corey, you're-
Jesus, he
Little
took your
bit of
dick skin.
skin.
I'm sitting a little lopsided.
You better be
I'm
careful
missing
on
a
this
whole
Salt
ass
Star
cheek.
here. That's gonna hurt sitting on that.
Okay, and so I traded him our essence plus a very healthy sum of money so that we could get this magical evil book. So it says if a true creep reads this book that has sacrificed a part of their body to this evil wizard guy,
Yeah.
and you open the book, it will write a story. It barrels into the true creepness of who you are, finds your fears, and writes you a little tale.
Oh, that sounds horrifying.
yeah.
Does that sound awesome?
It sounds like
I
just
don't know if
it's
I'm
going
ready
to
for
write
this.
4 stories about our insecurities about our penis size. But yeah, that's yeah.
Just saying, not a lot of people get this opportunity, and we have this opportunity.
So I lost part of my body, and I'm also going to be traumatized. Win-win.
It's okay. I just turned another year older, and I have a giant bald spot on my head because Corey shaved it to give to some creep guy. But
You're
anyway,
right, Corey. This might be the perfect
Again.
book for tonight.
But yeah,
the thought that counts.
what are we doing this for if we're not doing this for high stakes, guys? I mean,
Look, I love it. This is the first Savage Horror Creeps book club. You brought the scariest book in the world called The Creep Chronicles. I mean, okay.
yeah, and that's
Copyright pending.
So I'm gonna take this evil book and I'm gonna set it over here, okay? And I'm gonna charge its magical power.
Seriously, dude, though, I don't know.
You don't think it's gonna work?
No. I'm just questioning, if there was really a dark wizard you were talking to, or it wasn't like
or if I'm the dark wizard.
no, Joey. It was just Joey trolling you on the dark web.
Joey.
Some type
All right,
of
guys.
snake
Joey the
oil
Dark
scheme,
Wizard,
if you ask
yeah.
me.
I'm a little nervous, but I'm gonna open this up. I'm
Okay.
gonna see what fear it reveals for me, okay? All right. It's appearing.
Is it getting colder?
It says
Yeah, the wind's picking up in the attic, which is weird.
Well, Corey never shut the window from when he creeped in here.
Gotta get the shingles redone.
it says sofa skin.
Sofa,
sofa
skin?
skin?
Sofa skin.
Like,
Sofa.
like a couch?
Tell me more.
Let's hear the story. All right, this is the life. Here I am in my home. I got potato chips, Funyuns, roast beef sandwiches that I Ubered. This is the life, man. I don't need to do anything, man.
Hey, Corey, you in there? Corey. Corey.
Fuck. Shit. Nate, hey, what are you doing here, man? What's up, man?
Hey, man, I there's a fucking sweet horror movie playing at the theater. Do you want to go? Come on, man.
What?
I got 2 tickets. I already bought your ticket.
What movie? What movie is it? What's the movie? What?
Dude, it is Camp Titty Bloodbath 5.
Camp Titty Bloodbath is on VOD. You can get it on Prime right now. I didn't clean any pants. I didn't clean my pants. I got dirty pants. There's a mustard
Corey, you've never
stain
worn
on my pants.
clean pants.
And I think
You don't even need pants.
I'm just gonna VOD it in here.
It's
have fun.
Camp Titty Bloodbath
No,
5. You know that this is going to be the biggest tits, the biggest gore in the
Nate,
entire franchise.
You got to call me ahead of
You
time.
got to see it on the biggest screen, dude.
I got a big screen in my room, man.
You're constantly sitting on this couch.
Thanks for the invite, man.
Get off the couch, dude, and come see Camp Titty
I'm
Bloodbath
sure
5.
somebody will go, man. No, I'm not gonna do it, man. I can't do it. Have fun, all right?
Have fun?
I'm sorry.
I gotta watch Camp Titty Bloodbath 5 with myself.
Yeah, I guess. I'm like I said, I don't have any clean clothes, so I'm just gonna stay in.
Whatever, man. Enjoy your time on the couch.
Oh man, fuck, man. Maybe I should have went and go see that with him or not, but I don't know. Oh fuck, my phone's ringing now. Okay, hello?
Corey, what you up to right now?
I'm super busy.
I need you. I got this really sweet idea for an indie film, and I got Nate coming out after the movie. I've got Andy coming. I need actors. And dude, nobody can sell a movie like you can. I need you for this.
Oh man, like I don't know. I already told Nate that I wouldn't go to the movie with him. I don't. There's gonna be like 3 of you, man. I'm usually like a two's company kind of guy.
Look, I know you're a little.
Nate, and if you got Andy and Dracula, if they're all gonna be there, I think you'll be fine, man. Hit me up on the next one, man.
Dude, I know you're a little bit more introverted these days, but it took me forever to get these cameras rented out. Do you know what kind of line?
Next time you're shooting it, I'll be there, but I just didn't get enough notice, man, and I'm just super comfortable. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I just feeling good. I'm comfortable right here, okay?
Fine, I guess I'll just go get Anthony to play big bearded tough rapper.
All right, man. Have a good day. Bye. Oh gosh, man, that's I mean, I like those guys are great, but this is the life, man. I got it made, man. Everything I need is right here, no problems. Oh my God, he did. Hey, buddy.
Corey.
Hey, man, how are you? How's everything going? The book release, going well?
Yeah, it's okay. It's still a few weeks out, but man, I have not talked to you in 4 months.
Yeah, I know we made plans last week and the week before, and I know you want to go get VHSs. And,
I do. I just saw that
food,
Alex posted he's got like Wet T-shirt Contest Volume 6 on VHS.
No way. Oh, God.
I thought we could go pick that up.
Oh, gosh.
And then grab like a big titty burger at Amber Inn.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be great to catch up with you.
I got Chinese food already. I'm so full, man. And I actually, I usually don't smoke weed till later in the night, but I got stoned, and I don't even think I'd be able to order. Man, it's so hard to say no to you, but
Are you all right, dude? I feel like
I'm just gonna chill.
Okay,
I'm just gonna chill.
All right, I'll give you your space, but
okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm calling you next
Yeah.
week. I'm gonna call you next week.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Peace out.
Man, I don't like I said, I got such good buddies. They're good buddies, but they don't need me. I'm just gonna eat my chips. I'm gonna eat my food. I'm gonna watch. I got everything I need. I got over 2,000 movies. Everything's pristine. Everything's perfect. I don't gotta work. I think I'll just spend time, sit here.
Hey guys, thanks for meeting me for a drink. Camp Titty Bloodbath 5 was the best one so far, man. Oh my God, you cannot believe how many tits they cut off in the film. It's insane,
Boy, can
dude.
I was there with you, man.
Oh man, yeah, and we got to get to your movie.
I missed
Andy,
out, man.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's okay.
I was trying to
You're
get a hold
drink.
of Corey, and have you guys talked to Corey?
Fucking Corey is so impossible to get off the couch these days, man.
I hear you.
Like, he is like a mushroom. He just will not leave the couch. It's insane.
Yeah, I stopped by today and asked him if he'd be part of my new movie, Pumpkin Tits, but it just didn't happen.
I know.
couldn't get him out.
I know.
This is not like Corey. I mean, he's a pretty social guy. I mean, you know, his Fathom days, man. Like,
I'm worried. I'm worried about him, man. But like,
here.
He's just gonna melt into that couch and just...
that's what I worry about. Like, he's spending so much time on that, he will become the fucking couch.
Yeah.
It's insane. Anyway.
Do we give up on him?
Do we go over there?
He never comes out.
I don't know. Let's check on him next week or something.
all right.
Yeah. Well, it's just we got things. We got plenty of shit to do this weekend. Let's check on him next week.
All right.
Life goes on.
Bartender, one more drink.
1 week later.
Hey, Corey. Hey, guys, what's going on here?
Oh, hey, man. I don't know. We're just moving the stuff out of here, man.
This is my friend Corey's house. I just talked to him last week.
Yeah, I don't know about no Corey, man, but the landlord that that owns this place, he said come get the stuff. He hasn't seen the renter. I don't know.
I just talked to him a week ago. There's no indication he was moving out.
Look, man, will you just step out of our way? We want to get home. It's a Friday.
This is fucked up, man. I'm calling the landlord, I guess.
Look, the landlord called us. He said, get the shit out of the place because there ain't nobody living
Yeah,
there.
I'm just doing what I'm told, man. Yeah,
Hey, I get it. I got no beef with you, but I'm just like, this is weird. I just talked to him.
Look, could you move out of this way? We really need to get this couch out of here.
yeah, we gotta get this couch on the truck, okay?
Ready? 1, 2, 3, lift.
There we go. You hear some sounds on this thing, man?
It's a squeaky old worn-out couch.
Okay, it fucking stinks. It's
Carefully.
full of Funyuns.
Yeah, kind of gross. Careful, you're gonna bump the wall.
Full of frickin' hair. This couch. I hate this job,
It's
man.
kind of
Let's just-
smelly, too.
Let's just get this couch to the dump where it belongs.
Oh my God, you guys. Did you hear that story? Is that what's going to happen to me? Is that what I'm doing? Do you guys,
I kind of got a craving for Funyuns.
do you guys,
Dude, I don't know, man.
do you guys,
You're kind of looking a little leathery in your
you guys want to
age.
make plans for next week? I swear I'm not going to sit on the couch like I used to, man.
Hey, man.
Yeah,
the
I'll
fact,
believe it when
the
you
I don't
say
want
it.
that
the
to
fact
happen
you're
to
here
me.
tonight.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't want this to happen.
Yeah,
to
I
me.
don't think.
Yeah, that was like, but that was very oddly
scary.
specific.
It was
Yeah.
scary.
Like you were
I don't want that.
the couch.
Episode 55, The Horror Book Club, Savage Horror Creeps. As always, I'm Corey.
And I'm Nate.
And that's Nate. We have Jacoby Matott with us.
Here.
And we have Andrew Patrie.
Hello.
For this very special episode.
They
we
both have been here more than, well, at least once.
have. You're a
Yep.
horror night,
My second
Jacoby.
time.
Yep.
Yep. You're a horror
I can
night.
move 2 spaces forward and 1 to the right or left.
right. And then your title was the.
He's a knight too.
Why the long face?
But I thought he had like
We
a
called him the Elder Knight.
the elder.
That's
knight.
right.
That's right.
But he is, he's just a
I'm
knight. just
50
the same.
here, you know. So.
Yeah, right. And then so you were on the trauma episode most recently.
Yes.
And then Jacoby, what was the most recent one? Because you've been on a
The
few
Omen.
times
The Omen.
before. The Omen one, yeah. Okay, so that was
Christmas.
at the end of last year. Yep,
The Omen Christmas.
that's right. Yep.
So, and we
See how
are
they treat the
here.
elder? They get trauma.
Hey, that's the
You
fun
picked Trauma. I assigned him.
It's okay.
The Omen.
I got
That
the
aged
movie
us
series
all.
made for the elderly.
That aged us all.
But we are here to celebrate a few things. We are here to celebrate not only Nathan's birthday that should be released on the day of his birthday.
It will come out on the 15th.
He turns 93.
Yes. Sexy
Or
93.
backwards, 39. And we have 2 book releases from our nights that we are so excited about, and we absolutely wanted to celebrate the fact that we are putting out this amazing stuff. Jacoby is putting out a story called Pumpkin Guts, a graphic novel, the Hellbound Halloween, big graphic novel with multiple horror stories in it. And Andrew is putting out Clumsy Love, a story about his family. We're going to get more into that stuff too.
Nonfiction. It wouldn't be autobiography.
No,
it would
memoir.
be memoir.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So,
And since they're coming out at the same time, we figured we'd make a little book club, celebrate a birthday, have a great time. We're going to get into all that stuff later.
well, I mean, we just got so many talented friends in our group, right? And we have this, kind of, I don't know, voice to the horror fans, right? And we just wanted to make sure that we got the word out, and because you guys have done 2 amazing projects, right? And anything that we could do to get that out there more would be like a huge win for us, because these are really something that I think are going to speak to a lot of people in our listening audience. We've had lots of listeners that emailed in from like all over, different shapes and sizes and different walks of life. And so the fact that you guys have got 2 really cool things, and cool different takes on horror, right? And there's not end of the spectrum, but like different ends of the spectrum with the graphic novel and then your memoir. Very, very cool stuff. So before we get into that, Corey, we're
going to do the same thing that we always do. We're going to do news.
So instead tonight, we'll do some horror movie talks, because we have some horror movie influences that come up in both of you guys' stories. So don't worry, horror movie fans, you guys will still like that. But also, we're going to give plenty of time to the book stuff, as well as, we got to do some news, right?
Yep.
And what we've been watching, like always.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants. I got news for you, pal. You ain't leading but 2 things right now. Jack and shit. And Jack left town.
All right, first thing I got, have you guys read this, that Disney and Star Wars are going to be making a horror film?
I've not heard that.
Yeah, I've heard this, and I don't know if that is true.
Oh, yeah.
Is that true?
Star Wars horror project in the works at Disney, says Andor showrunner. Disney has a secret Star Wars horror project in the works, according to that guy. The mind behind the latest critical hit from a galaxy far, far away, connected to Lucasfilm's behind-the-scenes activities during a recent conversation with Business Insider. The more sinister Star Wars. So they're like truly going to get into the R-rated thing now that Disney and Hulu are all together, and you can see some of the most raunchy stuff on Disney Plus. They're gonna
it's not like the unrated Bad Lieutenant is on Disney Plus right now, but it's not.
There is some ruthless shit. I just watched Dinner in America on Disney Plus. Hellraiser's on
what's
Disney
Dinner
Plus.
in America?
Well, it's like from 20, but there's like sex, nudity, sexual assaults. Dude, there is some ruthless stuff on Disney Plus. If you go to the Hulu section and go to horror, literally, Jamie Clayton is a Disney princess at this point.
What? Really?
Yeah, dude. When's the last time you've been on Disney Plus?
Not for a while.
Yeah, you can see all kinds of stuff in there, man. Literally. Hellraiser is on Disney Plus.
Wow, that's insane. Well, that's part of the Hulu platform, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, so getting back
everything that Fox owned, but yeah,
the Fox owned.
Fox owned is now.
Disney. Okay. So
and it's going well, and they're making money
now.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Well, getting back to your news though, is that I heard that there were some Star Wars stories with undead stormtroopers.
Yep.
Is that what this is going to be about?
I mean, they're not releasing what the story is about, but they're saying.
And I'm more of a Star Trek fan. Sorry.
Interesting.
I would agree. I'm a little more on the Star Trek side.
Okay, so I didn't know if like any of you guys were like Star Wars fans.
I'm probably more Star Wars, but
Star
that
Wars
was
is better
more of
than
my
Star Trek.
my youth. I mean,
so no one knows about this undead stormtrooper shit.
No
Okay,
idea.
well apparently there's fan fiction or books or something like that out there. With undead stormtroopers.
I'm just saying, even Star Wars is jumping on the horror bandwagon, and I think it's cool, and I think it's exciting, and I didn't even hate the new Star Wars as Disney made. And if they're gonna make murder and mayhem. I mean, remember
within
when
the Star Wars universe?
Yeah, in like canon Star Wars universe.
All right,
the guy that made Andor is now focusing on making a horror project.
I will say
to focus on the sinister parts of that galaxy. I'm all for it. An R-rated Star Wars. I mean, they did the Ewok.
So your thought is the same as mine, Jacoby, where it's just like
I'm burnt out
sinister,
on Star Wars.
Sinister, quote, bunny rabbit ears, right? Like the little quote unquote.
Sinister.
It's not going to be that sinister.
Maybe it's like a Jar Jar Binks one-off.
Did you see
That would
that'd be pretty horrible.
Yeah.
when Darth Vader showed up in The Mandalorian?
Yeah, it started killing everyone. Yeah.
That was cool, man.
Yeah, it's not a horror.
You amp it up a little bit, and it could be really cool.
Okay.
Undead
Stormtroopers would
Let's
be
do
something.
it.
Okay. Yeah, that
Let's
would
do
be
it.
kind of cool.
Marvel zombies, Stormtrooper zombies. I'm just saying, I read that. I thought that was awesome. I think that's great for horror. I think that's great for Star Wars.
Well, anything that gets horror back into the mainstream, because it should be way more prevalent than
I
it
hadn't
is.
looked at it that way, so yeah, I would support that.
Yeah. But they're going to fuck it up. They're going to fuck it up.
Huh?
Yeah, I think they're going to fuck it up.
All right, in other news, Eli Roth now confirmed that he is going to direct a new remake of Ice Cream Man.
I heard this, and he said it's going to be his wildest film yet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is totally something you'd say about the movie that you haven't directed yet.
Yeah. I
To
think
generate buzz about it.
I think
you know?
Eli's getting a little tamer these days. I don't think it'll be his wildest. I think he kind of hit his wildest.
What about Thanksgiving 2? Is he already directing that? That's coming
I
out?
think that's already made.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Oh,
So that's
sweet.
coming out probably
This year, I think.
Oh, okay. All right.
So now it's Ice Cream Man. Clint Howard coming back. I don't know.
I hope he cameos.
He'll have a cameo.
He'll have
I'm
a cameo
sure.
for sure. If he's still alive, yeah, he definitely will.
was
Plus,
one-
what is he doing?
He was in the Terrifier 3, right? He had a cameo.
Yeah,
in that,
yeah,
right?
yeah. He was
At
a
the
drunk
bar.
guy, right?
Yeah, yep.
So yay, nay. You excited about that?
Yay about that, because Ice Cream Man has got one of those like cult classic icons thing.
Every time you think it's good, it's not as good as
It's not as good.
as
yeah.
its legend.
No, it's
Precedes
not.
it.
It's really not. And so I'm excited to see like them just
Got a
double
couple good
down and
scenes.
go crazy with an Ice Cream Man thing.
And I would like Eli Roth to not make teen horror, and I don't think Ice Cream Man would work as teen horror.
It would definitely not.
Yeah.
Because it's killing kids, putting them in ice cream,
Right.
things like that. Yeah. So
Another thing that I just read about, have you guys seen the secret trailer to A Long Walk? The Stephen King
yes.
story.
super excited about this.
Okay, you
I'll
saw
be
that?
talking about this later tonight
Yeah,
too,
I'm
actually.
excited for this.
I
Yeah.
haven't heard anything on
It's a movie about a bunch of military thing. They enlist a bunch of soldiers.
So it's a dystopian future. So this is the Stephen King story. It's a dystopian future where there's a lottery that teenagers will go through. And if you get picked, you have to do this long walk thing, which basically is you just walk until there's one person left that can't walk anymore. And the military follows you in tanks and armored cars and all sorts of shit.
and if
it's
you
just
stop
a bunch
for
of
like
kids.
longer than 3 or 4 seconds,
You get a few warnings, and if you get on your third warning, they just gun you down.
Yeah.
And then the winner of the
Gets
long
a bunch
walk,
of money.
it gets set up for life. Their whole family gets taken care of. They get all the money in the world. It's a very dystopian society, right? So they don't have much. And so this is a huge thing. So a lot of people that get picked for this lottery want to go do it, these teens. And then you're that overly confident teen going like, I could fucking walk forever.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're walking for miles and miles and miles, and they can't sleep. They can't, nothing.
Shit, can't.
Did you?
Well, they shit, but they have to do
Do
while
it while
walking.
walking, yeah.
Did you read that in the Bachman books? I mean, that's,
I did.
That's kind of right. Yeah.
Yes.
And then
Yep.
of course then there's the walk, and then there's the running man. Right. That was another
Right,
story.
yes.
That
Yeah, that was the
happened,
same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Rage, and I forget what the fourth
But
one.
there's a
was.
trailer out for it, and it looks pretty good. I don't know if they're counting it as horror or what, but I saw that trailer.
It's pretty horrifying. So the book, and this is a little bit of a spoiler for what I want to talk about, because this is one of my favorite Stephen King stories.
That's
actually,
awesome.
because I was really excited when they announced this, because I thought that this would be easy to make, but also super interesting.
Yeah.
They blow apart kids in the books. Like, I mean, when they're
Well, we
shooting.
don't have to get too into it. We can talk about it when we come to the book.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so yeah, well, I'll save it then for a little bit
Yeah,
stuff. But it would be horrifying, even though it's just basically watching kids walk down the road.
And that's all I got for news. Anybody else heard any news?
Practical Magic fans out there?
No.
Okay. Well,
They're making a new one?
they're making a Practical Magic 2, which will come out in September of 2026, probably on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
There you go, champion that. That's one of the Star Wars horror films that they're doing. Practical
Yeah,
Magic
probably.
2. They're
So lately, we always do what we've been watching lately, and I did see some Thunderbolts. I'm not going to talk about it very much, but that is an A+ Marvel movie, one of the best Marvel movies I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about it.
That's what I've heard.
David Harbour fucking kills it. There's a evil dark entity, and it's good. It's great.
Good.
It's
Good.
up there with Sinners. I also watched the season premiere of the new show Walking Dead Dead City season 2.
Oh, how was it?
It was all right. I mean, it's become too TV.
Now that's the one with Negan and Maggie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're set later, and Herschel, Maggie's son, and there's an evil guy stealing kids, trying to get Negan to be Negan again. There's it's kind of an action TV show that is going through the motions to make things too TV. It's starting to lose the soul of The Walking Dead. The zombies are an afterthought.
Is that necessarily a bad thing, though? Because The Walking Dead, I feel like, is really played out at this point, right? So if you're doing something different,
but no,
point?
it's.
I feel like these creators come up with a genius concept, they make it into a book, it gets adapted into a movie, and when that takes off, after the initial author's stuff is over, they literally just milk it for money. And at that point,
well,
it loses
here's the
magic.
thing. So if AMC stops making Walking Dead TV shows, then the writer of Walking Dead's going to get it back. And then he's going to start making cartoons based off of his comics and stuff.
Robert Kurtzman?
Yeah. So I think they have to keep on making shows in order to keep the rights for AMC to keep the rights. But they're putting it out there. And it's more like, okay, Maggie's this unstoppable ass-kicking force that can't be killed by anyone. Same with Daryl on Daryl Dixon.
Which she never was in the series, the original series, right? She never was.
She got pretty badass. You stopped watching pretty early.
No.
So she was, and I don't want to get too much into.
It was like season 10 or something like that.
She was badass in season 10.
Yeah,
she was very badass. She wasn't even in season 10 actually.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But she's unstoppable.
Rick got blown up in a bridge thing. I know he's alive.
Stop ruining everything.
I just said I know he's alive.
That's a big thing. He hasn't seen that.
I have. I've watched all the
talking
seasons
about Rick
of the regular
getting blown
series.
up. Just kidding. I don't. Okay, but like I said,
Rick got blown on a bridge.
Dead City. It's all right. Negan's still Negan. It's still entertaining, but it's more action but guys killing guys, and then there's zombies in the background.
That's what the show was becoming, though, wasn't it? I mean, like all along.
And I want it to be more Dead City. I want it to be a city full of dead people. There's so many dead people in the sewer that it's creating a methane gas that powers everything. I mean, I don't know.
You got some ideas.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would rather see the original writer just get his rights back. It's
then
like,
to make a cartoon or something
it's
with
like this.
Invincible.
It's like you're the little kid on the playground. You've got your toys. The big kids come over and take your toys. Yeah, they give you a cut of the fame and popularity, but they're playing with your toys and they're not going to let you have them back. How fair is that?
That's business.
Here's something that I don't know if anyone's thought of so far in the Walking Dead world. You could just stop it.
Yeah,
you could just stop making Walking Dead material.
Not business.
Yeah. Something
is
different.
the business that great? Is the business that great?
So I'm gonna buy the rights to Pumpkin Guts, and I'm going to make
an
anthology TV show. Okay, and in the contract, I'm gonna put, as long as I'm making money this and making new content off of your written thing, I own the name. You can't compete with me because I paid you for your wonderful stories, and now I'm making my own off-spin art.
I got to stop you.
And if I stop making the season for 2 years in a row, then you can take it and you can do whatever you want with it. But as long as I'm making money on this, I get to do it for
I
as
know
long
how
as I
this
want
is
to.
going. Corey, as executive producer, is just sitting back there, just smoking a cigar in my mind. Like,
Yeah.
it needs more boobs.
Yeah.
More boobs.
There's that hard R on the back. And
Well, if I got them back, maybe I'll put more boobs in it.
Well, and then you get it back. Well, no, and then you're going to be like, I got to bring this back to the root. I got to take all these tits out of here.
Jacoby gets the rights back. He's like, first thing to go.
Man,
Too many tits.
He put too much, Creep Studios really downgraded the quality of my rights.
I do got to set the record straight, though. It's not an anthology story. It is a singular, cohesive graphic novel story. One story.
Okay, sorry.
You're all good.
And we're gonna get more into his,
You'll get your chance.
yeah, we're gonna get more into his book soon.
Corey's version. Pumpkin tits.
Pumpkin
I'm
tits.
changing it.
The sequel.
It's just anthology stories.
That's
of
the
tits,
adult
yeah.
parody.
Yeah. Pumpkin tits.
Tit guts,
Whoa.
boob guts,
Boob guts.
the half-naked Hellbound.
Okay. Well,
But anyways, so yeah, the Dead City, it's starting off okay. It wasn't a bad episode, but yeah, like I said, it almost feels like an action film.
Yeah.
With zombies in the background, and I want them to get more horror. It's not very horror.
Sure.
Other things that I've seen. Yesterday, I got out and I got to see Clown in a Cornfield.
Very excited.
We were talking about
this
that
one.
last week.
Yep.
You thought it was going to be good. I thought it was going to be,
I've heard good things about it.
It is not that good. Like I said, my review earlier of it, it reminded me a lot of Eli Roth's Thanksgiving, where it was like trying to be a Scream movie.
But I
it
like
was
Thanksgiving.
very teeny.
I did too.
It's kind of
Not
like,
a big
who's the
fan of
killer? Yes,
Scream
it is a
clone
true
movies.
slasher. It's a true
Wait, so
slasher.
Friendo the clown is not he's like somebody else?
I don't want to ruin the movie.
Okay. Never mind. All right. I'm
It
back.
is a very
I retract.
much, you're like, so you're watching the movie, you're trying to figure out who the fuck is Friendo the clown? Is it a supernatural thing? Should I ruin it? No.
No, don't. It's,
But it's-
way too fresh. Please
Corey,
don't.
is it slashery? Is that what
It's
you're-
very
okay,
slasher.
all
It is a teen slasher.
Okay.
There's a teen, and there's this girl. Her dad's a doctor. They're moving to a new town after the mom died.
Okay.
She has to meet all these friends. The cops hate the kids. The town hates these. There's these kids that make these little tiny YouTube horror films, and they prank people with horror, and that's what they do. And they dress up as Friendo the Clown, and they're pranking everybody. And then everybody's like so numb to these kids pulling these Friendo pranks.
That when Friendo comes,
Everybody's like, it's bullshit. Who fucking cares?
whatever, you two.
And then
okay.
you know, they're fucking playing with severed heads, thinking they're props, and you find out that they're not. There's a couple of good gore
Is this
scenes.
is this a horror comedy? I almost said a homedy.
I mean,
Hey, that's
Horror comedy.
trademark.
like
that.
I said,
Yeah.
like I said, my review, the things that I didn't like about Eli Roth's Thanksgiving is what this movie is. It's very, like you said, hard R. We were talking hard R.
Yeah.
It's a soft R.
Really?
I'm sorry.
Because I heard that was surprisingly gory. Now, first of all, this was a young adult story.
Right. It's a novel, right?
It's a
First?
three.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
three stories, and this is the
Yep.
first story.
Yep. And
So there's already guaranteed to probably be two more.
so I was excited that they didn't do like a PG-13 young adult adaptation of it. You know, when I heard that there was a slasher and there was gore and there was things like that.
I mean,
but
it's
you're
not-
still saying like it's not.
It's not that much more hardcore than Fear Street.
Oh, okay. So is that a good comparison then? The Fear Street series?
I love the Fear Street movies.
I enjoyed them. Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
You're really doubling down on the Thanksgiving.
Yeah. It reminded me, like, the parts of Thanksgiving I did not like, it felt like this whole movie.
But you liked Thanksgiving.
Yeah, parts of it. There was a part that irked me about Thanksgiving where it was trying too much to be an I Know What You Did Last Summer type movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm saying this movie isn't really for us. I mean, yes, you're going to be like, oh, you're going to get in there and you're starting and it's a slasher.
So is this
And then halfway through the movie,
Okay. So
you're
is this a
kind of
starter
like,
slasher then? Like you would bring teens into it and you would be like, hey, watch Clown on Cornfield. If you like this, we'll move on to Friday the 13th or stuff like that. Would that be a starter slasher?
I don't know. It wasn't that good, dude.
I know that.
I would just tell
I'm
a
with you.
teen
I
to
want it
watch
to be good,
Scream.
Yeah.
right? So I'm kind of like, I want to see it and I want to like it.
yeah.
There's kills. It is very, very, you know, every slasher film has the same thing. You set up these people, the new girl meets these guys, they get picked. It's very formulaic.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay.
That can be okay, though.
I think it would be great if you were 17 years old and you were dating a 18-year-old and you guys went to the movie theater. I think you'd have a great time. I think you'd love it. But I still think it's a cut.
So if I went to the movie theater and got, you know, just finger blasted throughout the entire film, I'd be okay with that?
yeah.
But the listeners at home, if you could just see the seriousness on Corey's face when he said that, like, yeah, I would actually recommend it. Maybe getting fingered during this film. Guys,
think
girls alike, doesn't matter. We could put fingers anywhere.
I
2000 plus
don't want to
25.
defend this film. This film is not very good film. It's lazy writing. It's formulaic. I could guess everything that was about to happen. The actors aren't, I mean, they're fine.
Did you like Hard Eyes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I liked Hard Eyes a lot.
Hard Eyes.
And I did too, but I
Hard
felt
Eyes
like you
is
could
twice
make
as
you could
better
make
as this
similar critiques of
Hard Eyes is way
okay.
better.
All right.
Nice.
Way better.
Okay.
So ultimately, this one's generic. Everything you expect to happen will happen. You're not going to be surprised or delighted in the slightest.
I mean, there's a twist, but you'll guess it. Yeah.
Look at you. Look at you rhyming things. Delighted in the slightest.
I give it a C minus. It was a 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that was a kind rating.
Ooh, okay. All right. That's even a kind one.
It's under borderline on my ranking for this.
Well, I'm going to have to rely on the guests on this one because I've seen nothing new. I saw a lot of new ones in the last episode, saw nothing new since. So have you guys been watching anything? Jacoby? Andy?
I think the most recent thing I seen was probably Sinners with everyone.
Oh, yeah. We all went together and fucking fantastic movie.
Oh, my gosh.
Favorite horror film of the year so far.
Same.
Probably will be in the top 10. Well,
I'd
I
go
know
see
it
that
will
again
be in
right
my
now
top
if
10.
I could.
Absolutely. Yep.
I have Clown in the Cornfield, one above Baby Invasion, and one under Presents.
You really did not like Baby
I-
Invasion, which is crazy for a Harmony and
Well, if you watch the movie, you'd understand too. At least the music's good. in Baby
Harmony
Invasion.
Korine is what I was trying to say. I almost lost a tooth. What
He
about
was
you?
about to get into Sinners, but let's. You saw Until Dawn.
I did see Until Dawn.
The video game movie that we were talking about 2 episodes ago that we never went to see because I think we talked each other out of it.
Well, that, and they were only showing it in one of the 4 of the same theaters around here, so, and it was the furthest one away.
What did you think of
Fuck
that
that
movie?
too hard.
And I didn't have any background in the game.
You didn't even know it was a video game?
Has anyone played the game
reason-
here
the reason-
on mic?
The reason I did know it, the guy I went to see it with, had played the game when it came out, and also a good friend of mine, Chad Lewis, who's kind of the parent. He is actually does a voiceover on the game.
What
The actual
Chad
game.
Lewis, since this is a book episode,
Yeah.
he wrote the Paranormal Travel Guide for Wisconsin or something like that.
And he's done a number of other states. And
Yep.
So
Terry Fisk also.
he and Terry were like a partnership for the early years. I think Chad's just kind of doing his solo thing now.
I'm sorry, Chad. I didn't know it ended terribly. Yeah,
I think it was amicable, the split.
Okay.
But so I didn't have that background coming into it.
Okay.
And afterwards we were kind of breaking it down. I said, like, this is one of those films where I feel like if you can't appreciate like what it's trying to do, like
The source material.
why are you into horror? It was just it was fun. I mean, sure, there's going to be some of those issues with some of the acting, right? And
Acting was bad. The lighting was bad.
but
the effects.
the effects were great, practical, gore. I guess I think if I had been a fan of the game, maybe I would have a different take on it. I know some people have not been happy.
Oh,
what I
okay.
read online
Really?
about it.
They're never going to make a good video game horror movie.
I had a lot of fun with it. And yeah, it definitely has that like Silent Hill, Resident Evil film feel, right? So if you're familiar with those, right, other horror game adaptations, but no, I'd probably say B plus. I mean, it wasn't.
Oh, okay, that's a really good rating for that. Actually,
it's definitely not.
Kinder.
Probably kinder.
He's a grader. He actually.
Yeah, there's effort.
are
There's
you
effort here.
Somebody tried.
Yeah.
Andy and Jacoby? Are you guys on Letterboxd as well?
Jacoby is. He doesn't use it. Andy, I was hoping.
I will.
We'd
I
talk
will
him
get
into it
onto
tonight.
Yeah, how you're not on Letterboxd is a great thing. Yeah,
It's sort of like I took forever to get on Untapped. I have friends who are big beer connoisseurs, and like you sort of like some beers, you get an Untapped, and I finally got on it, but I never.
Is that a beer rating app?
Yeah, and I never remember.
That's old school. That was
post
Paul used to be
anything,
super
so-
into that shit.
But yeah, I know.
But I get people. Oh,
Poor Bishop Paul.
Yeah, he used to be
No shit.
Untapped.
But you put stuff out on. I see your Letterboxd
Oh, yeah.
rating for film, like Sinners. I think I saw you had one come out. So I should. It'd be
Letterboxd
fun to
is
get on
great.
there to read your reviews.
Letterboxd is fantastic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially, when you follow all your friends and then you're seeing like them rate, like, especially like it's fun to see Corey and I do like a new year, right? And then as he's going through it, he's rating his stuff, and I'm like, what? Yeah, we're fighting
Don't even
about this
start
one,
with
and
me
it's like,
on Letterboxd.
You're talking it up to me, but I'm kind of a grandpa when it comes to technology, and it just takes me like forever to get the new social media or the new app,
yeah, yeah.
It's not for everybody.
I'm the same way. Jacoby.
Like, it took me forever to get Instagram. I probably only got that like 4 years ago.
All right, you guys are the grandpa creeps. Then.
The elder. I prefer elder creeps.
So fucking
We
hard.
got a new elder.
So fucking hard to
creep
look
over
up the
here.
movie you watched and then put a star review on there.
That's all it is.
Fucking all this
Type in the
this
name.
new technology.
I stare at my
guys.
Holy
phone
shit,
enough.
5 stars? When are we doing 5 stars? Roger Ebert only did 4 stars in the 80s.
Do I need one
what
more
the
reason
fuck?
to look at my phone?
Maybe stop looking at the other stuff and find something. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know,
whatever.
Do you write more
All those
detailed
thirst
reviews,
traps
or are you
suck
just
me
doing
in.
like a star rating?
One day later.
I keep track of every movie I've watched.
Right.
Yeah.
But are you putting comments on for them, or are you?
I don't write a lot of reviews, but I log.
Yeah,
my
I don't
ratings
either.
and
You know, like
I
Horror
guess I'm
Bishop
not-
Paul puts a lot of reviews out there for like almost
Okay.
every movie he
Dracula
writes.
does too. A lot of people do.
But then so another cool thing about Letterboxd too, for I guess for the listening audience that doesn't use Letterboxd, there's
This
like
episode's sponsored by Letterboxd.
yeah, fuck, I wish it was, man. We'd be rolling in it right now. We'd be rolling in it. There'd be gold-plated microphones. No, so the thing about Letterboxd though is that it forms a community, right? And so they do this thing called Hooptober, where they have new rules for every Halloween season. So there'll be like, you have to watch 3 Italian horror films this season, you know, and there's a whole thing that you have to do. So you have to like map out the movies, and that's really fun. And Anthony, Horror Creep Anthony, he does that all the time, and he's constantly exposing himself to new movies because of that stuff. And then everyone will share their list with the Hooptober crowd. And Hooptober also comes from Toby Hooper.
That's what I wondered.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So, just so there's a whole community that you can like be part of, and then they drop the rules like mid-September or something for the people that want to play along, and then you start on October 1st and you watch at least one movie a day for 31 days, and it's all these different criteria,
Which we were I'm assuming all of us
That's
have
am-
tried to, or like
That's amateur
I watch.
shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I watch like 50, 60 movies.
yeah. You can get a couple.
My
in
Halloween
a day.
season starts September 15th,
Sure.
basically, and goes till the 1st. Or yeah, 1st.
Letterboxd. I mean, if you guys are grandpas and you don't want to,
I'll get in on it eventually.
Do it.
I've just
Yeah,
got
yeah.
a lot of
I'm
stuff
done.
going
I'm
right
done
now.
trying to.
It sounds fun. It sounds cool.
Getting
But
a book
this is-
published
this is
isn't
book
easy.
club.
It takes up a lot
This
of your
book
time.
club. I don't think there's a letter booked.
You were 10 years younger.
Is there a letter booked?
Oh my
There's
God.
no letter booked out there.
Letter booked. I'm sure there is a book app of some kind, but once again, third week in a row, we have no emails.
Yeah, we're
So
going
I
through a
guess-
drought.
I
We
guess
were
if we don't
very
get
lucky.
If we don't get one by next episode, we're just going to get rid of the whole thing. Okay.
We're just done. We're done here. We're backing in.
But we can skip that. And then we can, should we get into maybe some books?
We should definitely start getting into the main topic tonight. Yeah. I mean,
But
anything
nice
else?
job, nice job sprinkling in. I mean, we talked about the long walks, literary.
Oh, yeah.
connection and-
Well, we'll talk about that more.
What was the other
Corey
one?
shut me down.
What was
But
the other one you mentioned too? That had a book. Clown and Cornfield.
Clown and Cornfield.
there
Yep.
you go.
Yeah, so
the YA
it
novel.
does kind
Yep.
of make sense.
It does.
Yep.
If you do want to get a hold of us, though, hit us up at savagehorrorcreeps@gmail.com. Write us anything. Talk about the books. Talk about Letterbox. Give us your Letterbox. We'll follow you if you let us know that you want to be on that, or let us know if you want us to follow you on anything or support you on anything, because we really like
Facebook, Instagram.
supporting fellow creeps.
And
that
I
are
know I
making
cut it out of the
things.
last episode, but we were actively talking to listeners as we were recording that podcast. And by we, I mean me.
Oh, yeah.
Where listener Martin from
Yeah, I was wondering where that was. I thought I missed that, but no big deal.
No, I cut it. But yeah, no, he was talking to us, on Instagram, and so I just sent him a video of our podcast studio. So, yeah, if you want to hit us up there, that's once again savagehorrorcreeps@gmail.com, and we are on Facebook and Instagram. Let's get into the main topic tonight.
You've had your whole fucking life to think things over. What good's a few minutes more gonna do you now?
Don't hurt me.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Stay away from me.
Wendy.
Stay away.
Darling, Light of my life. I'm not gonna hurt you. You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in. I'm gonna bash them right the fuck in.
Jacoby really gets into that one when he hears that.
Oh, he gets rock hard.
All right,
rock hard.
Commence our first meeting of the Savage
I need
Horror.
to kind of settle this thing down.
Yeah.
All right,
Think
so we're
about
doing
baseball.
it. We're doing it. The first ever meeting of the Savage Horror Creeps book club, and we have 2 authors that are putting out books in the next couple months here. Yours very soon, yours a little bit after, however that's working.
Yeah, actually, by the time this episode drops, we will have links in the show notes for anyone that wants to check out these books that we talked about tonight. There will be good ways to get a copy, or pre-order, whatever they are. We'll have the links in the show notes. So if you guys like what you hear, check it out. We encourage you. Corey and I are very familiar with the work that's been done here tonight. Super fucking impressive, and I encourage all our listeners to check out your guys' books. And with that being said, let's get into the books.
Andy, you are writing a book called Clumsy Love, and tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Or you're not wrote it.
It's written, yeah.
You have written.
Yes.
You have
written your book. Yes. Good.
But I think Jacoby will talk about this too with his. It was 6 years, 6-year process to go from
2019. You started.
Yeah, right. It was the day after my mom died. Actually, was the idea. It was like, I'm just gonna go in the basement, and I'd been the week before she died. I was at a writing retreat. And the person that I was working with is a writer named David McGlynn, who's a professor at Lawrence University in Appleton, Wisconsin. He's based out of Madison. He's a person who I can't sing his praises enough. I mean, we didn't know each other. I was paying money to go to this retreat, so he was, in his cohort for a long weekend, and he just heard something in a small piece I had written for a regional journal, and he pulled me aside and said, I think you need to write this book. And I had no idea how to even conceptualize writing a book.
So he knew your story about this book?
The piece that he heard became the first chapter of the book. So if you pick up Clumsy Love, the first chapter is essentially what he saw, what he heard, and I just written this short little 3-4 page piece, and it was published in a regional journal called Barstow and Grand, and from that he said, "There's a larger story here that I think you need to write and you need to tell." And I'd come from a world of writing very short poems and was
this
just
isn't
getting
your first book. You've put in how many poem books out?
I had self-published a couple collections of poems, and I was just starting to kind of get into these shorter prose pieces. So I was really daunted by the idea of writing a book. And I think at that time I did. What does that mean?
A full-length book about one thing.
Yeah, hundreds of pages, tens of thousands of words. Chapters and a story that kind of unfolds. And I was like, poof. And I didn't know. Did you start on page 1? Once upon a time, when you write till you go to the end, and one of the things that I learned through David's mentorship is that no, you can just do it in pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then you put those pieces together, and over the course of 6-7 drafts, right, things start to kind of emerge and cohere. And
so, did you do this one from beginning to end?
I did not.
Because when I try to do my little horror stories, my little scripts, or my movie ideas that I never finish, I always do the beginning, the end, and then I try to fill in the middle.
Yeah.
And then I stop somewhere in the middle.
That's great. There was it was actually a very similar process where I had a beginning and an end point, and then you're right. In the middle kind of zigzags between just different times. Yeah. So so the book is about, to answer your question. So the book is about sort of parenting, fathering a child who's transgender, and the book begins, and I guess the present tense of the book is we're traveling to Madison, Wisconsin to consult with an endocrinologist about puberty blockers, which is something our child was, adamant about. at that age. And then the book ends 18 months later with us returning to Madison to actually have that procedure done. So in between, you get, all the backstory about, the birth of our child. And there's some of my backstory in there too. And just sort of the things that happened, along the way. So I had full permission, cooperation with our daughter, who's now 18.
And I read the foreword that she wrote at the beginning, which is excellent. When you read that, you do immediately want to read the
great
the book.
That's very nice.
I did not read the full book. You kind of suggested that I should have the physical copy in my hand.
And I just gave it to like a week ago. So that's
I read probably the first half chapter in the foreword, and I love the foreword, and I am looking forward to reading the book.
Oh, great. Yeah. No,
Not only because you're my dear friend, but it was compelling just to hear that full story and wanting to know everything that happened.
That's great to hear. And I think that the terrain of, one of the things I was very mindful of is like, I'm not trying to tell her story because I want her to tell her story someday. I hope she will. But the other side of this is she's a character in my story as I tell, right?
Yeah.
No, so, for the first part of the when we get into the past of the book, right, I had her permission to use what would be her dead name. And I was intentional about that because I wanted the audience to kind of have the same experience. Obviously the audience can't have the same experience, but it's, the idea of, hey, you're getting to know a character by a certain name, right, and a certain personality, and then that's going to shift for you the way it kind of shifted for us in real life.
And to make it just so it's clear for the audience, I mean, like this is a memoir.
Yes,
this is nonfiction,
as opposed to a grimoire, like the
Great Grimoire. Yes, yeah, no demons here, but. But yeah, so I mean, like, this is a true story. This is your journey as your child wants to transition, essentially, right?
Yes.
And so, very honest piece, and it's written from, to your point, not your daughter's perspective. It is written from yours, going through that from beginning to end, right? Like, just experiencing that, and a whole new world, I would assume, for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. So anyway, I just want to make sure that we just got that out there and whatnot. So, but anyway, continue, please.
Yeah, that's that's essentially it. In terms of what the book's about. And I know you have some questions. So I know there are, aspects of horror films, that because that's such a big part of who I am. In my interests, my influences, and that does creep in.
Well, when you're a true creep and you're telling a story, like how when you're trying to explain something to an audience, it's easy to compare it to horror films.
Sure.
And I know that you gave us the list of every horror movie you reference, which there's 13 references in there.
Yep.
And I love that as a horror fan that, me trying to understand your story, you pulled in all these other stories on something that a person like me would very much understand.
Yeah, and that's what's so I think powerful about it is because it's written in your voice, right? And I think several times throughout the book, and I'll be honest, I'm only about halfway through because we didn't get it till this week, and it's still
busy.
very new,
you have
right?
Lives. Yeah.
But I'm about halfway through it, and several times throughout the book so far it's you portray, and I mean this respectfully, but like an honest cluelessness to this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And about what you're doing with the situation, which is kind of like foreign territory to say the least, right? And you, as a good parent, good father, get your wishes from your daughter of like, I want to do this. Like, I want to completely change the trajectory of my entire life, essentially, and that's a big, bold and courageous thing, that she's taking on. But it's fun. It's kind of funny to watch you just be like, oh, fuck. Okay. We're doing this, which you're totally supportive, which like any good parent should be in this situation. But it's also, you're not like naive to how like you're such a stranger in a strange land type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's really cool to kind of see that. And like, you're just this simple man that's just got, that's going through this thing, and like you're relating it to all these things of like this whole like this kind of like very, I'm trying to think about the right way to put it, but it's such a like, it's not a foreign concept, but it is totally just like a whole new trajectory of where you're going with, right? And then you're relating it back to some of these horror films and your experiences as your daughter's growing up, and you guys are growing up together essentially with this on this journey.
That's a good way to say that.
So like, what were some of the things that you thought maybe that were really important to show during that? I mean, I love the appreciate, I appreciate the naivety of you in this journey, right? In the memoir.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I feel like, so there's a narrative out there, right? About, that this is like, parents sort of like, sort of wishing this upon their children, like, which is and I think if you read the book, that's one of the things that is pretty clear. Like, this is the last thing we wanted to happen. Like, we're just like, maybe it's something else. There was also denial, right, about for a long time.
It's almost like a stages of grief type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you like, you had your child that wants to, transition something different.
Yeah.
And so you do kind of go through. And it's not grief. You're not grieving, right?
No.
But,
And you probably maybe haven't gotten far enough in there. I talk about that because I said I had a difficult time with that word, because it was how my wife and I talked about, like, this is kind of how we're feeling. It feels like, you're losing a son, right, and gaining a daughter.
Yeah.
I remember a colleague at school just kind of asked, "Hey, how's it going?" one day. Maybe he could see, that I was, kind of looking a little out of sorts. And I said, I feel so sheepish, using this word, because we know people, we have friends, and they've lost children, miscarriages, diseases. We have a child who's alive and thriving in all the ways we expect children to kind of thrive socially and academically and that. But I just kept coming back to that word.
Grief.
Yes. Like, I feel like we're mourning, maybe, which I think you're right. That was kind of the word, and I remember it was just so, he said the exact right thing I needed to hear. Is like, well, then that's how you're feeling. And that's all right.
Well, and that's
like,
one thing I've loved about the book so far, is that you don't shy away from that. Like, this is a tough thing, not just for your daughter.
Yeah.
Right. This is a tough thing for the whole family. And it's still a tough thing in today's society too, because like there is all sorts of different opinions, some way wrong, some like way out to lunch. Right. And really it's just this one person, your daughter, chose to do this. Right. And that's all that should matter at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it's not as simple as that.
It's not.
And it really comes across in the book that way.
Which is great. Because I think the other narrative I think that the book tried to push back on is like, okay, kid, you just do whatever. I mean, we're thinking this through as the parents. We're having conversations with professionals, right, about navigating this. And so I think hopefully, just some of those ill-informed narratives that are out there, like the book can kind of, say like, well, hey, like it's not necessarily like the way you might think it is, right?
Yeah.
With the stuff that you're scrolling.
Well, a lot of people from the outside looking in would probably have views on like, wait longer, before you do this.
Right.
And,
because she starts a journey fairly young,
she
right?
does.
Before puberty.
Which I think is
right? So,
absolutely fantastic, because if she's sure, and then you support her when she's ready and she knows, I'm sure there was a short time period where you were like, well, let's think about this, let's make sure we're making the right decision, because you can't necessarily go back once you start, right?
Well, so with the blockers, if so, let's just say like if she had made the decision to like, 6 months on, I'm just, I think I was wrong. I think I'm just, yes, people just they take you off the blockers puberty begins as it would, right?
Yeah.
But it's when you start to introduce the hormones, and that and the book sort of ends at her she turns 13. We just got the blockers, and also it ends right before COVID. I think I just didn't want to. That felt to me like a good, like, talk about beginning and ending,
like
the starting point of and not to get into all that other stuff. And I feel like most of what has happened after that,
there's room for a sequel.
It's hers. Then it's her story. Right? 'Cause I'm like,
she's got a sequel coming.
My arc came right. Like my arc is from here to here, and now it's like, what is her story going to be? But, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Yeah. So, back with the hormone therapy, which is vital because that affects bone growth and brain development and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But that is where, they talked about, the risk of sterility,
Sure.
So there are, but this whole thing has been just calculated risks, right? Like these risk assessments.
I mean, this book does have a happy ending.
I think so.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. Beyond like the ending in the book, I think it ends the way it needed to end. And of course,
or on your story where you got there, everyone's healthy, happy, where they want to be. And we just get to see the journey. You know what I mean?
And for all the uncertainty that I have as a narrator, as a father, Simone never wavers, in this, and that was the thing that was sort of like, okay, this is, there's I remember one of the therapists telling us there's a small percentage of children, our daughter's age who say they're this, that end up carrying that into adolescence and then beyond. But we just had, especially Adrienne, my wife, she just was like, I just have this certainty, and that has proven to be true. And we have a kid who's doing well. And so, yes, I think we all looked at that risk assessment and said, like, this is, again, that's the thing. There are these longitudinal studies, right? Because this is fairly new. Yeah. So what are the impact? We don't know. And I'm first one to admit, like, one of the big oxymorons is this idea of settled science, right? Things change, right? We find out, get data, things. Yep. So, but for where we are now and for what the professionals were saying and for what we're seeing from our child who's doing very well off to college this fall,
18
this was the right choice.
That's awesome.
That's weird too, because I look at the book as such a snapshot of that time. And then, in some ways, Simone isn't that person anymore. In some ways she is, but it's weird to kind of look, and it's also kind of cool to look back at, here's a chronicle of our of this part of our lives.
Well, and I think it's really cool that you like, the honesty that comes through in the writing too, where you're just talking about that journey. And it's so scary because, like you were talking about, like, hey, there's a risk of sterility.
Yeah.
Like, as a parent, you have a 12-year-old when she started that, right? You have a 12-year-old making these major decisions.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Like, I'm going to become sterile. I want to be, I want to transition, doing all this stuff, making hard choices that honestly no 12-year-old should be. I'm not saying they shouldn't be making at that point, but I mean, like,
it's a fair.
When I was 12, I could not comprehend making such a drastic decision, drastic, something that's going to change my entire life, at that age, because I didn't know what my life was. I was just whatever, hanging out, just,
and that's what's so fascinating. That's what's so fascinating. A lot. Because I don't feel like to her it was drastic, but to us it was, right?
Well, because she knew, right? She knew,
absolutely.
and that comes clear in the writing too. Is like, oh, she knew way before that she made this decision. Way before, and that's kind of the funny thing, when you talk about like the fairy wings and stuff on the camping and at the cabin and whatnot, and it's like, there was no doubt in her mind, but you as a parent, which knows way more than a 12-year-old,
right?
Has to take into. Do you even know the gravity of the situation that you're putting yourself in right now? And that's scary for a parent too, because it's just like, well, you're going out of your way to kind of quote unquote find trouble, you know what I mean, or get into trouble.
It feels like,
I mean, not saying it's the same thing, but I remember when I was 8 or 9, I wanted to get my first huge tattoo.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Where
I wasn't allowed. I wasn't able to. I gave myself my first tattoo when I was 11 years old.
Do you still have it?
Right here.
Oh my god.
I gave myself a teardrop on my
it looks like a teardrop.
elbow, and
Your
then
elbow killed somebody.
And I tattooed the name Arab on my foot, named after my dead tarantula, who died in tears with Indian ink and a needle. I don't regret either one of them, but
no. Long live Arab.
It's hard.
Cheers, Arab.
But yeah, I mean, this is, and I'm not comparing a tattoo to a transition. Right. I'm just saying.
No, I know you're not.
You know, to know that somebody truly wants something and that you're sure of it, man. I applaud you. I mean, I don't know.
Well, it's a scary thing.
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
a hard decision, and that's what makes the story so riveting.
And there were all kinds of doubts
that you had to. You really had to throw yourself out there and make a choice to support a person and trust in your child. Yeah. And you made the right decision. And like, fantastic, man.
And the other thing is, you know, like rereading it again, getting ready for publication. Like it is that, you know, it ends around February of 2020. And there is a kind of like, I'm reading like a hopeful, like you mentioned the word naivete. And it is. Like, I feel like we just had no idea because things were seeming like they were trending in a direction where like, you know what, maybe there's a little more tolerance, a little more understanding, a little more acceptance. And we've taken like a lot of steps backwards in the last 5 years. So that's weird, like to look at the book and go,
last 5 months,
it's a time capsule. Yeah, no kidding.
Anyway,
I mean, I tried to keep the book very, like, I guess you could say like non-political in the sense of, but I mean,
no, it really shines through that this is your journey.
Yeah.
Going through your daughter wanting to transition.
Exactly.
You know,
here's a human. It's a human face on my friend B is like, it personalizes what's often politicized. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to do. And I guess maybe it's political in the sense that it's pushing back on certain narratives that are out there, but that's it. It's not.
I think it's beautiful, man.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And to Corey's point, what he was talking about too, Simone writes this fantastic foreword in the book. So we know how that she feels now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
But you're writing this book,
yeah,
right? You're planning on writing this book,
yeah,
and you want to pursue this further. There's a point where, of all the things that you're already terrified about, asking questions about in this whole situation,
now you
got
to
go to her.
Yourself.
Now you got to. I would assume you went to her before you started writing, right? And was like, I want to write this.
Yep, I told her about meeting David and kind of what he said, and I'm like, I'm thinking about telling the story and how do you feel about it? And of course, she was, I mean, not even. She was almost. I think she turned 13. She would turn 13 in like a month or two after talking about
when you started writing this.
Yeah, this project with her, and
she's 18 now, so this is a journey of 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
So she was very much kind of thumbs up about it and just seemed like nonplussed, and she'd hear stuff because I'd often poor Adrienne, like I don't know how many times she had to listen to draft after draft of various chapters, but sometimes
she's like, fuck Andy, I'm living this right now. I gotta listen to it again.
I can recite it in my dreams. But sometimes Simone would be downstairs, and I remember there's a chapter in the book about her playing volleyball and in 7th grade, and which touches. I mean, I shouldn't so it kind of skirts some of the issues that have become more at forefront, right? And anyway, I think she liked the dialogue between the two of us. It was just recounting outside in our front yard and kind of hitting the volleyball back and forth, and it makes me think about like my own father, and like because he was a big sports guy and I just wasn't a big sports kid, which kind of leads into the horror stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember I was reading it out loud to Adrienne, and she was in the back, and I remember her chuckling at her dialogue, and I thought, okay, that was a good sign. So this is sounding like her, but she actually didn't read the whole thing until last summer. Because as I was, getting closer to
your daughter didn't,
or
your wife. Okay.
Simone didn't, our daughter. So I said, hey, you should probably read this whole thing because it's, there's lots of rejection.
That's scary, right?
Yeah.
That's the ultimate. Like, because when you put yourself out there for peer review and stuff like that, I mean, it's terrifying. That's one of the hardest things an author has to do is like take it to somebody they actually give a shit about their opinion on.
Yeah.
And then be like, you tell me what you think, and they're like, oh,
nothing. Or like,
right. Yeah, you're like, oh god, this is terrifying.
So it had been out there and rejected several times or silenced, and but she still hadn't read it. I thought, well, maybe it's time to as we get closer to. And she really liked it. And I had mentioned this in the only other interview I've done on the book so far. I said, what's your favorite part? Because I was just curious, and it had nothing to do with her, which I thought was great. It was a scene. It's in one of the chapters. I go to a bar for the night and make kind of like the clumsy, like you said, like the buffoon, making kind of a dumb decision. And that's the part she liked best, which was one of the more difficult parts of the book to write because for all of us.
Well, right.
But that's what, that was the other part of this, is that I'm pretty open with kind of laying it all out there, but I also have Adrian's not, and I also have Simone to think about, and so that was an interesting balancing act of like how much I can share.
We're talking a little bit about fears today too, and not only the fear of the story of the decisions that you make and the impact it has on your guys' life, but also the fear of presenting this to your daughter and fear that she will accept it or not. And then now on top of this, now you're about to release it to the world.
Yeah.
And the fear of
it's scary
expressing yourself and putting the humility of the story out there. Wow. What a journey. You know what I mean? Just yes, this isn't a horror story. This is
okay, so if you write a fiction story, right? Okay, if your story sucks, whatever. You get this wrong?
Yeah. Your life sucks, man. Like,
yeah, right. Yeah. If you get this wrong, you're dishonoring people at that point, And so, so it's definitely a brave thing. Now we know you, obviously outside of the podcast, and now our listeners have heard you a couple times now, right? Or are you able to?
This is the second one.
This is the second one? Okay. So, I mean, they're still getting to know you, but it's funny because as you're going through the story, like I'm reading it and I'm like, this is him, right? This is him going through it. And you're talking about, the metal or the horror stuff, especially, right? Which is really cool because you did not betray, I should say, yourself and your journey through this, right? So, so you spoke a lot about all these like influences, and we have these 13 horror films that we talked about, and I'm
very curious to see how
we're worked them. Like why them? Because there's some like random ones on this list, right? I mean, like what?
Yeah, no, that's for sure. So to kind of just back up one step, like I was thinking of in back to your point about sterility, whatever. So she had actually said that, like, well, I could just adopt, my dad's adopted, and so that was a part of the book I really didn't want to go into because I felt like that was its own story.
That you were
adoption
adopted.
and I met,
which I didn't know until I read this book, actually.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, so
and I did meet my birth parents, and all this stuff kind of happened around this. There was a lot of stuff that happened around the same time, like my mother, my adoptive mother, who's my mother, the cancer diagnosis, and then the meeting the birth parents following my stay in the hospital, and then Simone, like, hey, I'm transgender. So all this stuff was kind of happening around the same time. But I didn't really want to write about the adoption stuff because I thought, well, that's its own thing, and I just want to kind of focus on this story with our daughter. But again, my friend David was like, I think it's got to be there. And he was absolutely right. And that was actually like by the third or fourth draft when I finally started to see how all this stuff could kind of come together. So like you were kind of saying before, like, the tattoo, not like this. And like, of course, adoption isn't like what Simone's going through, but it did get me thinking about how growing up, I felt very kind of estranged from my family. And it was easy for me to kind of say, oh, it's because I'm the adopted kid, right? And so I kind of found
I'm that weird adopted kid,
exactly, right?
Yeah, like,
and I but then you kind of find I found my my interest did not align with my dad with sports, and I just had discovered like scary stuff. Like I loved horror films, and for a long time I couldn't watch them, but I could read them. So my parents would like take me to the library, and I would grab Stephen King books, and Lovecraft and Poe and that. And of course then we got cable TV, and I figured out a way to sneak down and watch stuff anyway. So those are like some great memories of childhood, right? It was like trying to like scare myself.
Well, coming to age, a lot of us came to age with a lot of even these films
exactly,
on your list.
yeah. And the heavy metal too. Like these were these, and this is the question I was going to kind of throw back to the group eventually. But that stuff, at least my perception of that, growing up in Eau Claire in the 80s and into the early 90s, just people didn't dig that. I didn't know a lot of kids who liked, not just metal, but like, as things like thrash and death metal were emerging, and then, black metal eventually.
But still very fringe culture.
Exactly.
Right.
And horror films where like, I remember bringing,
Yeah.
I think back on this now and go, oh my God, like what were these guys thinking? Like, we'd be hanging out and I would be the one to like go to like, I'll get a movie, and I would bring like Last House on the Left or I Spit on Your Grave over. We're like 15
Or like,
years
remember
old.
the first time that I
and they're
said-
like, what the?
When I mentioned Blood-Sucking Freaks to you, the way that your eyes lit up, like,
don't do it, Corey.
you're one of mine. Well, no, I mean,
You are
I
one
don't
of my people.
I don't think it's the movie you think
That's
it is, but that's awesome that you just said that. I can't
Sorry,
believe
I was
you
thinking,
just said
I confused you with my friend Quentin, who was like, I think I'm going to show my first. I brought this girl home.
Yeah,
It's our
yeah.
first day. I'm going to show her Bloodsucking. I'm like, dude, do not do that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's why we.
But I was like, hey,
I've
I've been looking for this movie.
Yeah.
I know that
Yeah.
you're. And then your eyes lit up, and you were like, and I was like, oh yeah, you saw my Marduk shirt,
Yeah.
my death metal shirts, and you were like, hey man, I probably shouldn't be doing this, but you should check out this, and you should check out this movie. And we
Adrian
connected.
used to laugh because at Borders, which is now Books A Million, but I would go kind of thumb through like the metal magazines, and sooner or later there'd be like some other guy kind of doing that, and you'd kind of look at each other, and we'd just be talking about music,
Yeah,
and
right.
Adrian would come over and just start laughing like, who is that? I'm like, I don't know, just a guy who likes metal. And
one
like,
of the few
it's-
people
yeah.
in my section.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and
Or
that's
horror
why-
films, which was why when you guys were doing Witchcraft, like that was just such a cool place for everybody to meet and kind of just talk.
Well, I
about
had a similar
stuff.
thing. I was at the Beyond yesterday, and I for the first time I got up super early, went to the DMV. But before the DMV, he had dropped a bunch of VHSs, and usually I go there and it's just me and Adam. But I was there, and then to my surprise, there was 4 or 5 other VHS buyers.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Sorcerer's gone, isn't
Well,
it?
and I already had.
Fuck.
No, I think that one's still there.
Uh-oh.
It might still be there. I didn't get it, but I remember somebody walked in, and Adam talked to him a little bit, and then they were talking, and then I was on the other shelf hoarding all these films so that nobody else could hold.
got them underneath his
indenting
shirt.
my arms. But then I started.
Don't look at me. Look away.
But yeah, from the other side of the shelf.
Yeah.
I was chiming in on their conversation, and
Well, and I think that all of us longtime horror fans on this podcast, right? We've all experienced that kind of like that fringe culture, right? Where you're just like, we went to horror films not because it was like fun and I mean, it was. They're fun. I love them. I think they're very cathartic. I think they're one of the most dynamic genres in movies, right? And I'm a movie fan, but we also found that camaraderie in horror films and in the
Well,
in
look at this.
all
We're
these
on
people.
episode 55. There's
Right.
always something to talk about if there's horror movies.
But I mean,
involved.
like, you go to a horror movie convention, everyone's friendly, everyone's like wanting to talk to people, and we
Yeah.
just want to nerd out, and there's no
Sit in the
difference.
hall all night
Badass
talking
shirt,
about
man.
why Halloween
Like,
4 is the
Exact-
best one in the series kind of shit.
Oh,
Where'd you
Jesus!
get that
well,
shirt?
well, we can't start that.
Well,
but,
anyway, but you find your
But yeah,
camaraderie.
yeah, right.
It's like people like finally get you, and you're like, oh my God, I thought I was crazy and on an island.
But it's that fringe thing that you're doing where you're just like, I love something that is out of the norm, and you're like, this is like one of those things where it's like, oh, this is almost my true voice.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is like who I am. This is
Yeah.
a piece of who I really am that I get to show the world. And I think it's so interesting that you wrap in the horror films into your story, because that's essentially what you and Simone are going through at that point, where we're just like, we're doing something out of the norm. We're doing something that isn't, to some extent, not accepted in some societal circles.
Right.
It's going against the grain. It's going against that norm. And you're doing something with that fringe culture, of like the transgender culture now.
Yeah.
Right. And it's still beautiful, just like our horror culture.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, like, it's so interesting to have that dichotomy between those two.
And I think that was trying to think about like, hey, maybe here's a point of connection, right? Because I think what I was looking for.
Well, you
that
coming
with
into
our-
a creep and her coming into her sex of choice was around the same age too, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah.
knew.
That's
You
true,
knew.
Corey.
You knew back then that you were going to be a
fucking
fandom
horror
of this
weirdo.
and a creep.
Right. And
Just a weird
it's funny you
fucking
mentioned 'cause the
horror
book
guy.
talks about like how like,
and your parents for a minute tried to stop you.
They did. Yeah.
But eventually they accepted you for who you
They
knew,
gave in,
who
and,
you were.
and that becomes like that point of connection because you'd asked about the some of the titles and like for example the Friday the 13th Part 6. So that in the book,
which you guys both ranked above
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw
I know.
Massacre, and I don't know how.
Here's why.
better.
I'll give you my reason.
We'll talk about that.
My reason is because when my dad sort of realized, okay, this kid's not gonna be
He's
a
not going to
sports
like
guy.
the war films and the sports films.
Yeah.
That kind of,
So what do I do? And this is something I didn't realize until I think becoming a parent myself many years later. That I'm like, oh, like my dad actually did some kind of cool stuff that I didn't appreciate back then because he could have been that hard ass like, nope, this is what you're doing. But instead he said, all right, what do you like?
I tried to influence you.
And we went to back. And you guys maybe some of you remember this, like in grocery stores that have like these paperback kiosks that you could just spin, and I'd just be like, that's where I got a lot of these horror titles because that was a big thing, right? They just King and Clive Barker, they kind of turned into like everyone was putting out a horror. But I found
Dean
this
Koontz,
Dean Koontz, that's
fucking
great,
everywhere.
man. John Saul,
Jonathan.
another one, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was thinking Straub, but yeah.
Oh, then
whatever.
Peter Straub. Yeah, I was
Peter
almost gonna
Straub,
say
yeah,
John
yeah,
Straub. Yeah.
Yep.
So there's this novelization of Friday the 13th Part 6, and it was coming out that summer, and I was 11, and I was like, I need to get this. And Dad's like, all right, whatever. So he bought it for me, and it just meant
Amazing.
everything. And then I got him to take me to the drive-in to see it. I was 11, and what a weird pairing, because the first film was Friday the 13th Part 6. The second film was Gung Ho.
Oh my God.
Michael Keaton, right? It was like wasn't it the Japanese takeover of some corporation, right? I was like, I didn't really care after that, but I was just so, it's one of my favorite memories of childhood with my dad, right? So, so that was, specifically kind of mentioned in the book as my dad having this kind of reset, like, and then I thought, gosh, all right, so that's kind of where we're at with Simone, right? Like, all right,
you're learning how to parent all over again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I didn't realize that until that moment. I think that this is what my parents did for me. Here we are,
which is crazy to think about because becoming a parent is arguably the hardest thing you'll ever have to do in your life, and you have to figure that out on your own.
Yeah,
you could read whatever books, you can listen to whatever self-help shit you want to out there. Each thing is individual, right?
Yeah,
and you have to learn that on your own. And then you have to relearn it again, basically. And so it's like, fuck, man.
Yeah, it was definitely okay, here we go, reset.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
And that's where I think like some of the adoption, the thematic, that made sense to include that. And then that's where I think a lot of like with the, like, and Chainsaw Massacre, you probably got to that chapter. And that book that was the movie my mom was like, you will not see this movie. And of course, at that point in the late 80s, you could rent movies everywhere. And
that
so
was
I was
still
just
swinging from its reputation at that time.
It was, yeah. And so my friend Pete and I, and then of course that became, a way to kind of think about my mom's cancer. That's the real horror, right?
Yeah,
like, and I thought just that, the idea of a slasher film became sort of metaphoric in the book because that is life. It's out there. It's going to, you're going to see Final Destination. We're going to get picked off eventually, right? Up until then, we're hiding, right?
Yeah. Oh, did you?
Hiding in the fridge.
Check your snap.
Oh yeah, of course. I talked back to you on that one.
And then this in the cellular level, I said this is what's playing out, right? There is a massacre going on, right? Like as the cancer progresses. So film, and some were just like I name dropped Sleepaway Camp just because I thought people like you three and maybe some of the listeners here would. It was a kind of an Easter egg, like because of the ending of the film, right? And I thought, like, that was kind of an intentional. Some of these were posters. I literally had Creepshow 2.
You gave me this list.
Last House on the Left. That's why it's so random. I think, like, just the reference.
Well, did you want to get into the list of the horror films?
So Andy gave us a list of these 13 movies, and then I'm looking at these.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
And I'm like, how are all these going to tie in together? And I actually rewatched every single one of these movies.
Did you?
And actually watched Ringu for the first time
ever. Really?
I'd watched The American, but I
The Grudge.
I got it, you know. So
The Ring.
That was quite interesting for me. And then I instead of maybe ranking them, maybe if I name off all these, you tell us the correlation of the book or what they have.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
So I mean,
we did some of that already.
We all did, yeah. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you already mentioned. Sleepaway Camp, you mentioned. Friday the 13th, you mentioned. Pet Sematary.
Yeah, so that was just one of the films that once my dad and I kind of had this new understanding of our relationship, that was just kind of time spent together was going to movies. And because you didn't really have to talk because you were in a theater, right?
Right.
Yeah. And that was, but that was my dad's way. He didn't necessarily communicate in words. It was more actions, right? So
time experience together. Yep.
Yeah. So we saw Pet Sematary, and then I think the Night of the Living Dead remake, the Savini one's on there. That's another one that we went and saw together. And the one I didn't include, I actually went and saw Dark Man, which is referenced, but I just
awesome.
our list was getting too long, so I thought, all right, well,
Creep. What about Creep Show 2?
That was when Adrian and I first met. We had. We didn't when we first met. I guess it was our first date. We were out at it was homecoming at our university here in town, and we were at a bar. We met at a bar, and we went for a walk, and we ended up walking by where I was living at the time, and I just pointed it out without intending to go in. I was like, let's just walk. This is a beautiful. It was October, but it was so warm for Wisconsin, right? That time. Yeah. And she's like, no, you should invite me in and show me your place. I'm like, about
my house is weird.
Yeah. It was never,
my house
there was
is weird.
never like, I don't think I ever thought a girl would ever walk into that place. So I just put up whatever I wanted. So there are all these horror movie posters and like monster model kits and like Three Stooges stuff. And I was like, So I kind of gave her the heads up, and that ends up kind of playing into a later chapter in the book where we start wondering about, what's that going to be like for Simone when she meets someone? Like, do you always have to have like this sort of confession hanging over your head
before you come any closer?
Yes.
Let me warn you.
Yeah, so that it was kind of like that's kind of okay. So yeah, some of the posters on the wall were Creep Show 2 and Last House on the Left, and like so that was why I felt I had to like
Frankenstein. How does Frankenstein correlate?
So Frankenstein, and that actually is not in the book. It's mentioned in the book. But
I was thinking as I watched these movies that you asked me to correlate, I was trying to connect it and try to think of how is he going to reference this in the book.
Oh, it is referenced in the book.
Frankenstein seems simple enough.
It's referenced with the there's a story about flashing back to proposing to Adrian, and I come back from Prague and I'm like imagining. I was like, how do I tell people what happened? And I imagine them coming at me like the villagers, right? Coming for the monster. Yeah. But there's actually this is a different piece of writing that I've done. That the Frankenstein creature has a kind of a sweet memory with my dad, but that's not included in the book. That's kind of a separate piece of writing I'd done.
At least it wasn't Bride of Frankenstein,
right?
You're like, I proposed. We belong dead.
That's great. Well, and it's funny. Some of these titles too. Looking at them, like you think of like the and this would be maybe beyond the scope of this podcast, but it'd be fun for you guys to maybe tackle like, like queer horror or like adjacent,
definitely.
Because I feel like, Leatherface and Chainsaw Massacre, certainly Sleepaway Camp, and even James Whale, right? Behind Frankenstein. So like
that is,
And I felt kind of guilty. Like I know we're talking about the book and then like my list is, but I felt like,
Night of the Living Dead, the remake.
Yeah. My dad and I went to see that.
Okay. And what about Carrie 2013, the remake?
So that's in the book. That was something that Simone came across on YouTube.
And you have that really high on your ranking.
I did,
too,
and
by the way.
Again, it's the emotional connection to it because I remember Simone got really.
That's good. I wanted there to be a reason like that because it's not based on the quality of the film.
I like the film, but no, I totally agree.
Now we're talking about the Chloe Grace Moretz one.
She's just too good looking of a Carrie,
right?
The ponytail thing. It's the.
Yes, not the Sissy Spacek for sure, but I just she saw that and she was like so taken with.
I didn't see the Chloe Grace.
This character like getting revenge and bullied and so we had to. I vividly remember the conversation. It was over Thanksgiving break, and I was like trying to like honor her how she was feeling about maybe things that were being said to her at school.
Sure.
Oh, the bullying aspect.
Yeah. So there's a chapter about bullying in the book, and I just remember saying to her like because you're trying to be the parent too and give the advice, and I was just like but we got to think about this because. As awesome as Carrie is and what she can do, like she does become a monster, right? In order to carry out, and you could argue that maybe she's made that way,
she allows that bullying to create.
She takes it pretty far.
Into a monster.
She does.
So, she takes it pretty far. So yeah,
So it's just me kind of like we need to remember remember this, right? Like as we think about how, because I think this shows up in all kinds of films, right? Like there's that temptation of vengeance, right? It seems so sweet, but then like when film, I always love when like Old Boy and that whole trilogy, like with Lady Vengeance and Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, it just shows like vengeance is not like it's devastating to maybe the recipient, but also the person kind of
does it,
delivering it, right? Yeah. So anyway,
what about Hunchback and the Phantom? Is that old stuff with your dad too?
So no, Phantom's more. The reason I ranked that one higher, that was sort of the first like movie monster that I kind of fell in love with.
Sure,
the makeup was just
so
startling.
Man of 1,000 faces.
Yes, and that actually. So I used to call Simone that my little Lon Chaney, because when she was little, she was so interested in like putting the masks on. So, but I remember buying that on.
Put that in the back of the book
on VHS at like Prangy Way. I had no idea what a silent film was, right?
Oh yeah.
So I took it home because it had that iconic image of like
him
being
his actual face,
And I remember watching like, what the? Am I like 8 or 9 or what is this? Like, they're talking. And my mom could tell I was just so mad. She like took the video and like returned it. But then years later, once I understood what I never had a problem with black and white, but it was just that silent part was just sort of like. And it's my favorite of like the Chaney film. I love Phantom of the Opera, so that's partly why it's kind of ranked so high. But also, and I did rank Hunchback at the bottom, but it was just another like example of a Lon Chaney film with his makeup that I referenced.
That's great, dude.
You had to read a movie, kind of like reading a book, and let alone years later.
The connection.
But that Phantom, that's not the original Phantom. That's actually a bunch of parts from when they made the sound one too. The original copy of Phantom of the Opera is not existence. We can get into Phantom.
You might be right on that.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, I actually watched a lot of shit for this. Well,
Joe Bob just did it too. Yeah. The one that I have the biggest question on is Vampire Circus.
Yeah.
How do you work that in?
It's that lizard lady, right?
I know, that's such a random title. So in the book, there's a part where it's in the same chapter with the bullying, and I was talking about how I often try to use humor in my own life to kind of just push back, on the things that are happening, right? They get too serious, and I want as a dad, I want to try to encourage that within her, and so I have a little series of there's 3 or 4 little moments of and it starts with a memory of taking Simone to a wake. It was my last living, well, she was deceased then, grandmother. And
I was going to say,
we're hanging.
You killed her? We're going to your grandma's funeral. But I just saw her. Yeah, we know. It's going to end up that way. Anyway.
That's a horror movie. And we were we were just hanging out in the pre-funeral. They had the, coffin, open casket, and there's a huge cross above it, wooden cross kind of suspended from the ceiling. And we're sitting there, and all of a sudden I don't know, Simone's probably 3 or 4. She just gasps, inhale, and Dad, look, it's the protective necklace. She kind of points at the cross, now she'll be safe from the vampires. And it's so loud. And it's
from the vampire.
So it's because we just watched it the night before.
Yeah.
So she was just totally absorbed with this, and I was so I'm there's a line about I make a mental note not to show her Vampire Circus before we go to a wake. But there were some people who laughed. It broke the tension.
It must be comfortable for her to know that her grandmother would not come back as a vampire, though,
exactly.
right? I mean, that's big comfort.
Exactly.
I wish I could say the same thing about my grandparents when they died.
And that's kind of,
but I had to stake both of them. So, that's awesome. Stupid joke.
And then the last one,
they're in the attic.
Yeah, they're in the attic. They're with
Ringu,
us right now.
What was the Ringu connection?
Actually, the same part of the book. So I
they also threw his grandmother down a well.
So there's 2 more vignettes, and I come back to so just again, one's just making me look very goofball. The joke wasn't funny; it flatlined.
Yeah,
and then we get to back to the present of the chapter, and I'm trying to cheer her up. She's still bummed out about the bully and we had to talk about Carrie, and I say something to her about I think I just punned on her name. It's a bad pun. It was dumb, and I could just tell like she kind of deflates. I'm like, oh, but that was the wrong thing to say, and I didn't mean to like. I'm like, I'm sorry, you know, like, and there's no movement. I'm like, you know, high five, and there's nothing. I'm like fist bump, and I'm like nothing, and then I say middle finger. And all of a sudden there's this little like, and I said, she kind of like looks up, and I said, and you can see her eye kind of through her hair, like the ghost girl in Ring. Right before she kills you.
Yeah.
So it was just an allusion to that to that film. So
I know that feeling all too well.
Yeah, I'll say you've got young
Fuck,
kids.
that
like,
wasn't a good joke.
And that's why
I hear you.
That's why the Japanese version is so much more frightening,
right?
Because in the Verbinski remake, you see everything, but I just love there was something about just that eyeball that
just
was
the eye,
so scary.
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah, no, I mean it's a really powerful story. It's very honest. I think people that are going through a situation like that should definitely read it, because it's like, oh, it brings comfort to the weirdness of it all, the oddness of it all, right? And to know that you don't need to have a finger on the pulse. You don't need to have, you know, you're not in control of the situation, type of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's okay to be clumsy.
Yeah.
Right? Like the title suggests. And I think the title is brilliant too, the Clumsy Love, right? Because I mean, like, that just shows it's a perfect synopsis of your journey, where you're just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I do care about my daughter. And that shines through, right?
I'm glad to hear that.
And I love that we're, you know, talking about this book, whether or not, you know, it's not a horror story.
No.
And here we are, the horror book club, but
I'm telling you, man, it's horror films. They just transcend. They transcend.
But just trying to understand that it's a horror fan's perspective in dealing with real life. And I'm interested. I think anybody that heard this would be very interested.
How often have all of us maybe turned to horror films as a way to kind of also make sense
to cope
of,
and
right?
understand the
and
world.
I feel like that's
Their comfort.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And
100%.
that was the one question I wanted to
Better
throw
than
out
mac
at
and
you
cheese.
guys.
You're interviewing us now.
I said one question because this and I
ballsy move.
I was just going to try to. I should have probably dropped this in before the list, but do you think that? I mean, because you talk about the convention culture, right? Which has been, I think, growing right since the 80s.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah.
Do you feel like, just from your own personal experiences, or obviously this would be all anecdotal, right? Your observations, but like, is it as much of a fringe or outsider kind of art as it felt like to me growing up, you know,
probably
40 years
not
ago? Or what do you how do you
probably not to the extent that it was back then. It is definitely it's slinking into the mainstream, but I also think that there's a big part of the society that just still keeps horror in its place, quote unquote. You know what I mean?
Well,
where they won't let it.
I'd agree with that. You kind of hit the nail on the head.
They won't let it become the mainstream, the popular, the appreciated thing that it should be. And you look at such powerful movies like Get Out, right? Get Out is such an important movie for the black culture and the trauma that they have to go through, especially in the modern day age. And you're like, that movie just is operating on a different level. Like, Jordan Peele is just brilliant on that. Why is that not as important as, I don't know. I mean, you could say, I don't want to compare it to like apples to oranges, right? I'm not going to be like, you know, best two movies on black films, Amistad and Get Out. Like, I'm not saying that, right? But if you're talking about the educational purposes and the turmoil that these people have to go through, or things like that, and I'm just using Get Out as an example, because there's like literally 100 examples in horror film. It could be for the gay population, the transgender population, anything, like even the incels, right? Like, we always make fun of incels, right? Because they're antisocial and they just don't know how to function, and they don't know how to talk to girls, and they're just awkward, right? And then they become killers, right? But there's some really good stuff out there where you're just like, well, you're just misunderstood, right? You know, and there's so much to say about horror. And I think that I don't like things like the Academy awards anymore, because I feel like they give a voice to all these films that are Oscar bait. Someone's coming up with these films that are just like, this is going to be really good for the Academy Award. But it's like, what is it saying? This isn't even presenting a good message. This isn't even like, this isn't really getting to the heart of the issue. It's fake. A lot of that shit is fake. And I feel like in horror, there's so much truth to it. I mean, like, look at I Saw the TV Glow. I was
just going to mention that title.
I Saw the TV Glow, right?
Yep.
I personally didn't connect with that film, but I don't know if that was for me. You know what I mean? And
I watched that with Simone, and I think because of the way she connected to that film, I felt like I kind of like through osmosis.
100%.
I really adored
I connected
that
hugely
film.
with that film because of the obsession with the television and being raised by the television.
Yeah, and there's that too.
But to try to answer your question, and I think you're, answering it as the fact of horror mainstream, but so yes, horror is a more accepted subgenre. But as far as me, once a week, I have somebody tell me, oh, I don't know how you can watch all that murder shit. I don't know how you can every night watch all that death. And they're obviously blind to it, my stepmother or my sister even, or like when I'm in
my mom says that shit
when
all the
I'm
time.
in other crowds of people, I still talk about horror films, because right now I'm on my quest of watching every horror movie from 1970 till now. And this is going to take 3 years of my life, and this is like one of the things that I most want to do. So when I'm with my dad, when I'm with people at work that do not do this, and I'm still rambling my reviews, talking about my podcast, talking to truckers and construction workers, and every time they're talking to me about whatever, I'll reference it to a horror film, and they go, yeah, I don't want to watch all that death shit. And I'm not watching it just to see people die. But yeah, you were trying to ask us if we still feel unaccepted for being a creep.
Yeah.
And yes,
it's still
all the time.
Yeah, it's still
in my
fringe.
life.
Okay.
I feel like everybody judges me on that, and everybody thinks that I see the world through like a blood splattered lens, which I don't know, maybe I do, but I don't have the obsession, the point of the obsession that I take this being a horror critic and stuff. No, I still feel like people think I see the world a different way, and people are still a little bit weary around me, whether or not they know that I'm not a serial killer, or I'm not, I don't even know if they know that. But no, I don't know. Did I answer that question a little bit?
You're suspect.
How about you, Jacoby? Like, do you feel like?
And you are from like a very like religious family, and you work in a religious place, and you're a teacher, and you're an instructor.
I'm kind of in all walks of life, but growing up, I was definitely part of a more religious family. I wound up going to Catholic school for 10 years. So a lot of this stuff, when I was a kid, I was drawing pictures of like, monsters and all kinds of bloody scenes and stuff like that. And like my own grandma always thought I'd grow up to be a serial killer.
The jury's still out on you.
And what people don't realize is like there's a sense of catharsis to it. There's like a sense of therapy that you're going through some of these things. And we're looking at some of these films. I was talking to a friend today, right? On slashers. 80 slashers is a junk food thing. It's a comfort thing for me.
Totally.
It's like going to eat at McDonald's. I know it's not quality food, but I just enjoy a fucking double cheeseburger from there every once in a while, right? And that's what a slasher film is, and it just brings me comfort.
Because you get to time travel back to like when you were younger.
You do,
saw it,
and
all
like
those feelings. And
and there's a nostalgia, and there's all sorts of stuff, and it's it's therapeutic, and that's what people don't understand is because they're just like you're watching somebody die, and it's like no, you're not, and especially with the films that are coming out today, no, they're tackling much bigger issues now than they ever have. And so you had that sense of catharsis. Now you're dealing with societal issues. You're dealing with personal issues, mental health, all this stuff, right? And all the taboo stuff that a lot of the mainstream people don't want to look at anymore. They don't like. No one wants to look at problems. No one wants to talk about like
I don't want to
mental health and shit like that. You know, we don't need to go into it, but I mean, like it's kind of
that goes back to like you two were talking about your Star Trek connection, and I'm not a Trekkie, and I know very little, but I know that it was very subversive, right, for its time. Like these were episodes that could talk about real issues that were
race,
happening,
especially,
but they could like, but we're in this fantastic alien world. Right.
Oh, yeah, they're always pushing the envelope. They're always trying to step outside of the norm and show you the more hopeful, optimistic future.
Even the crew, right? Even the crew being black and Asian and all this stuff.
Yeah.
That was not like we're all intermingled, and no one said a single thing in Star Trek, you know, when that came out. Because in the actual show, like it was just like you're a person, I'm a person, we're running the ship. That's it. You know, back then though, it's like you have your own separate water fountain when this was coming out, right? So anyway, we're digressing into a whole bunch of stuff. But so Andy, again, this book, Clumsy Love, is coming out. It's available to pre-order. Where can some of the listeners find this right now?
So yeah, the book's official release is June 3rd.
Okay.
But right now it's being published through an independent press called Little Creek Press, which is out of Mineral Point, Wisconsin. If you go to the Little Creek Press website, you can order it. It's also on Amazon. Although it was funny, I did an Amazon search. Someone got a kick out of this, and like it says Clumsy Love, you know, Father's Journey, etc. So you click on that, and then like so there's my book, and then the book underneath it is like Curvy Love. Books 1 through 9. I'm like, hey, this book's in good company, apparently. So that was funny.
Yeah, and we'll put the show note, or we'll put the links for your books in both Amazon and Little Creek Press in the show notes, actually, so people can order it too. But I would definitely check it out. It's a very, very powerful book.
Thank you.
And I'm excited to get back to it and read the rest of it too.
Yeah, congratulations, man.
Yeah,
Thanks,
congratulations. Huge
Thanks, guys.
achievement.
That's awesome.
So, all right, we're going to have a little bit of book club fun. Everybody here had made some recommendations of their favorite books that they've ever read, horror influenced or horror in full nature. And I think I'll start off, guys. I read one of my favorite movies of all time is Hellraiser, Clive Barker's Hellraiser. And for the past, I don't know, since I saw Hellraiser, I've always wanted to read the novelization. I have it right here, paperback. I bought this prior to having to go to jail for one day. Snuck it in with me.
Look at this honesty.
Read this motherfucker.
Don't ask where it was.
And I gotta say,
You butted it in.
they let you bring a book if it's for a day.
If it's in your butt.
If it's for a day. Never did I put it. I used it as a pillow. I did, but I did read this in a day's time, and it really did feel a lot like watching the movie. I've seen the movie countless times, it being one of my favorite films, and having this.
Yeah, I've never read that, so it is
having this with me. It's very close to the book.
Really,
as I was reading the book, I could see all the characters and Pinhead, and I could hear his voice, and it was just as a horror.
Oh, what about
fan,
what's her face?
Yeah, they're all
that
all
bitch.
This is. I mean, you got to think.
Can't remember her name, but Julia. Yeah,
it was directed by the writer. So obviously it's going to be close to source.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love this book. And if you're a fan of Hellraiser or Clive Barker, that's the big one. Check it out.
Great pick.
Very cool. Very cool.
My second recommendation is a graphic novel, local of sorts, a Wisconsin writer. It's called Something is Killing the Children. I was gifted this book while I was working at Witchcraft by Mitch, who wants us to do the Tales from the Crypt story.
Oh, yes.
It was written by
Mitch.
James Tinian IV, colored by Miguel Muerto, illustrated by Werther del Derrera. I'm butchering these.
Yeah.
But the book is called Something is Killing the Children, Volume 1. I went to the comic book store and perused through the other, I think, 9 or 10 volumes. And it's a story about a bunch of kids going missing and getting murdered, and this girl in a small town in Wisconsin, and this cool, hip punk girl shows up to solve the case, finds a little kid to help her with it. You'd probably love this. The illustration is very cool. There's a very cool character in it. Fun read. It's volume 1. I can't wait to read volume 2 and volume 3.
Can you see that, Jacoby? That's what a normal graphic book novel looks like, right?
So weird odd fact. I'm actually friends with the gal that modeled as the punk chick with the bandana.
Oh, really? You know her?
I know her through Facebook. We were basically on a Bill and Ted forum.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I want more people to check this out. And that's why I'm recommending Something Is Killing the Children. You can find it probably at your local comic book store or online and all that other stuff. A weird pick that I did, as a young child, I'll be the first one to admit that I've only read probably 20 books in my entire life. Most of the books that I would buy and collect when I was into my big witchcraft phase were informational magic, how to do this magic, how to explore what's inside of yourself. This is Simon's Necronomicon. It was written by, retranslated by a group of guys. And it is rumored to be messed up and convoluted.
A lot of those
in this book.
A lot of those are like the grimoires and stuff like that. They're open for interpretation, honestly.
And it's really more of a puzzle. And it's not an easy read. It is not entertaining to watch. But the fact that I have tried to read this book and understand this book and have actually tried some of the things. There's a whole bunch of demons.
I've tried to summon demons.
Well, and I also have its companion, the spell book. There's also the Gates of the Necronomicon. There's a book of 4, and it goes into all the demons' names, the 17th name and the 18th name. And a lot of people suggest not to do this because if you are a negative person in any nature, these are bad demons that will feed off of your negativity. So do not try to summon any of these demons, because if you do succeed and you are not strong enough, it will have a negative aspect on your life.
Can I see that spell book?
Yeah, sure.
I like how Corey's recommendation. This is a book that cannot be read.
It is, and it's like a puzzle.
Yeah, no. It's
and I've been trying to decipher it since I was 11 years old.
Yeah.
Your book appears in my book.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, and that not to be confused with Sam Raimi's Necronomicon.
No. Hang on.
That one.
I'll find it.
Or Lovecraft's. Is that Lovecraft's Necronomicon?
Well, it's based off of.
Based off of that. Yeah, I would think
the
so.
Mad
yeah.
Arab. Is that the,
my 4th recommendation is
Dead Spider.
Huh?
Is Dead Spider? Never mind.
Clive Barker's Cabal. And now I did not read this book, but I did listen to the audiobook in the last week and a half.
Wow.
And it is the novelization of Nightbreed. We've all seen Nightbreed. I'm a huge Hellraiser fan. I'm a huge Clive Barker fan. I was expecting to have a similar experience that I did to Hellraiser when I read the Hellbound Heart. And this one's a little bit different, maybe because I'm less understood of the source material and Nightbreed, and I know that one got changed a little bit. But there is some of the most sexy sex scenes in this movie, or in this book.
Yeah. Some monster sex scenes?
I just, yeah, there's a monster of Boone's length.
Oh, yeah.
The way that Clive Barker explains penises is pure poetry. Okay.
Yeah, I get you.
nice alliteration.
And I do,
Yeah,
I do
pure
think that.
poetry.
My
Penis, pure poetry.
and my last recommendation before I open up the Creep Chronicle here is I went and ordered quite a few years back the Rite of Exorcism. Okay.
Whoa.
So this is the true Roman Rite of Exorcism for authorized Catholic priests. And it does actually in detail go how to exorcise a demon.
Holy shit.
And funny thing though, look how thick it is.
Yeah.
Not much, yeah. Like if that doesn't work, they're out of options.
Well, there's a few different ways to do it.
Yeah, they're like, shit, we got to page 42. We're done here. The
37 pages.
37 pages.
The
They're
Rite of
very
Exorcism.
confident in their rites of exorcism.
And not that this is a horror book. This is a how-to guide to exorcise your demons.
Yeah.
I was thinking about trying it out on Nate for his birthday and try to exorcise the asshole out of him. but not on his birthday.
Not enough pages.
You're gonna need. I was gonna say you're gonna need more than 37 pages.
We're gonna need a bigger book.
Yeah.
So this is a fun, cheap, easy ride if you're a big fan of The Exorcist, or any exorcism films. So those are my 5 favorite books that I brought to recommend to you guys.
That's awesome, man.
And then I guess, what are your book recommendations first, and then we'll open the book for you.
Well, like you, big Clive Barker fan. And for me, it was the first 3 volumes of the Books of Blood. They were published separately, and I grabbed all of them at Walden Books, and I was 12, and it was like my.
That's Clive Barker's big anthology, right?
It's a huge one.
And so I actually bought Volume 6 had Cabal in it with a few other stories, but for me, it was those first 3 volumes. The cover art was iconic. There was like these, at least the U.S. versions, then these masks, and man, my world was open. Like there was the extreme gore, which I was not quite ready for at 12.
He's very good at descriptive.
There was, I think this was the first like homosexual coupling I read in a book. I think it was in volume 3, is called In the Hills, the Cities, which is this like the culminate in the story. There's it's a bunch of bodies make up like a living like Tower of Babel, I think, is, if I'm remembering correctly, it's moving.
Shit.
But there was before that, there was this like, homosexual sex scene, which as at 12 I'd never been able to conceptualize. So yeah, that
what, the penis goes where?
Yeah, exactly. So like every story just felt like very transgressive and raw, and a lot. I loved Rawhead Rex was part of this collection, so I was just like sold. So that was big. That was my number 1. I think Night Shift by Stephen King. I loved a lot of Stephen King stuff as a kid, but I distinctly remember reading The Boogeyman from that collection at night alone in our living room, and I had to make the walk then to my bedroom down the dark hallway. And I did not want to go there, but I loved the original cover, or at least the cover when I was a kid, it was like a hand that was kind of unbandaging, and all those eyeballs, right? Yep. Like that cover art too was just very, very iconic for me. The At the Mouth of Madness and Other Stories by H.P. Lovecraft. I don't know if I quite understand.
Is that the same one they made the movie about?
I don't think they have yet. I wish they would.
In the Mouth of Madness.
Mountains of Madness.
Which was H.P. Lovecraft inspired, right?
Yeah.
For Carpenter, but not they.
Yeah,
Del Toro was supposed to do the.
But Stuart Gordon, didn't he do
Shadows of Innsmouth? I think. Which
no, I was
Dagon.
thinking for that one horror anthology series that they were
Witch
doing.
House. Dreams in the Witch House.
Dreams in the Witch House was one of them, and I thought he did another one. But yeah, okay. Anyway,
and that was the one in Antarctica where they find fossils of the old ones.
Masters of Horror is the
yes.
Yeah.
And I just loved that. I think there was another story in that collection called The Shunned House that really kind of stayed with me for a long time. But
shunting.
Yeah. And then one of the first books that I remember kind of purchasing was the Tales of Mystery and Imagination by Edgar Allan Poe. Had all the short stories, had the novella, which I'm blanking on the name right now. Maybe it was the Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym. That might be what it was.
Oh, and then, that sounds right. Yeah.
And then a number of poems. But yeah, I remember like it opened with The Pit and the Pendulum, and it just kept like one after another.
Great stories.
Yeah. And then to connect back to Clumsy Love, I had to throw in the novelization of Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives.
Right.
Those were kind of like
because that was a monumental moment.
Absolutely. So those were all like very formative kinds of reading experiences. And it's funny because I don't really read a lot of horror fiction. There's a few writers that I follow and enjoy. But my tastes have kind of shifted. But man, that period of time when a kid through adolescence, like it was just reading Barker, Lovecraft, and came from movies. Reanimator made me want to read Lovecraft. Right?
Yep, for sure.
Awesome.
Oh man, do we dare try and read from the Creep Chronicles again?
Yeah, you gotta open the book.
I mean, like, I know it's my birthday party. I mean, but that last one was
for
weird.
you, Nate. I will.
Okay,
This could
thank
be
you.
on your
Thank
list.
you. Yeah, yeah. Maybe this is a good story.
All right, open it up, bud. What does it say?
It says class dismissed.
Oh, okay.
Hey, guys, settle down. You take a 10.
Fucking bullshit.
Corey,
This fucking
Corey.
school sucks.
Corey, time and place for the language, okay? I need to get
whatever.
attendance taken here. We can get rolling with the lesson.
Cares? Skibbity toilet.
Hey, pass me that marker. Yeah, here we go, man.
Fuck this class.
Mr. Patrie?
Nate?
Yep. Can I see in the hall?
Oh, Nate.
Well,
Okay.
It's
All right,
it's
all
really
right.
important.
It's all right.
Do you mind?
Okay, yep.
Okay, all right.
Stupid fuck. You're a dumbass.
What's going on?
Well, Mr. Patrie, Corey's been picking on me this entire class.
Corey again.
Yeah, he keeps making fun of my parents. They just got divorced. I don't think it's really funny. Okay, like, I know a lot of parents end in divorce, but it's not funny. It's
Yeah.
not funny to me because I'm going through it right now, Mr. Patrie.
Nate, it's not funny. I will talk to Corey. Can you do me a favor? Can we go back to class? I'll finish attendance. We'll kind of get rolling, and then when I got a moment, I'll pull him aside. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Back there. So attendance here.
What, did you need a tampon or something, Nate? You fucking idiot.
Mr. Patrie.
Yeah, you fucking
Kidding
idiot.
me? Somebody drew a cock and balls on my lesson plan. Fuck my life.
Time and a place.
Okay, guys, let's get settled down. Take attendance here. We'll get rolling here with today's lesson.
Fucking bullshit. School sucks, man.
Corey,
Nate,
Corey,
you smell like garbage.
Corey, time and a place for that
He's
language,
stupid.
man.
He's stupid. This class is stupid.
Mr. Patrie?
Nate, yes.
Can I talk to you quickly? Like outside?
Sure, fine. All right.
All right. Mr. Patrie, Corey keeps picking on me all the time. I mean, my parents are getting divorced, and I know a lot of parents get divorced, but like, it's not funny because they're going. I'm actively going through it, and he keeps picking on me.
I know, Nate. Corey should not be saying that to you.
It's really hurting my feelings.
Can you do me a favor? Can I just go back in, finish attendance? We'll get rolling, and then yes, I'll have a conversation with Corey about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Fine.
What, did you need a frickin' tampon? Why are you always taking it?
Mr. Patrie.
Someone drew a cock and balls on my lesson plan. Fuck my life.
Time and a place.
Well. All right, class, settle down, take attendance, and we'll kind of get rolling to today's lesson. All right, see.
Fuck school, man. School's so stupid. English is the stupidest subject.
Corey, time and a place. Man. All right.
Mr. Patrie, can I?
I feel like I've been through this already.
Yeah, well, I'm going through it right now. Can I talk to you out in the hallway, please?
No. Fuck.
Time and a place.
Oh, man. Is that what
was-
school's like?
Holy shit,
That's
dude!
a little too close to home. Man,
It's like Groundhog's Day from hell.
seriously, people keep talking about, retirement being like the eternal summer, but this felt like the eternal February.
My God, I've heard of No Child Left Behind, but like, holy fuck, man! Like when you're doing it
Leave 'em in the
over and
dust.
over again, that's crazy,
Get
dude.
this out of my hands. Who's next?
All right. Wonderful stuff. So, Jacoby, our little crypt keeper himself, has been working on a book, a graphic novel for his whole life. No, I'm just kidding. For 13 years, starting in 2012. And we got a nice shiny copy of the book right here. Looking
Super
amazing.
impressive.
Full size, hardcover, full color. All illustrated, all written. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I don't know as much as I should. Jacoby, tell us about your book, Pumpkin Guts.
Well, this is a passion project that, yes, has taken me 13 years. I first got the idea back in around probably 2010, 2011, actually. In our local town, Chippewa Falls, there was a Halloween festival that went on at an old Renaissance fairgrounds.
Oh, yeah, I remember it.
It was called the Village of Terror.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
Oh.
And as a young high schooler, I was cast as a Wolfman one year and a Victorian ghost the other year. But it was one night when I was just waiting outside the makeup tent to have all my gruesome prosthetics glued to my face, where I'm sitting there watching all the patrons coming into the fair before it got scary around 7 o'clock. It was basically meant for families to come in and entertain their little children with pumpkin patches and fun stuff. And I'm waiting for everything to get all scary and dark and really meant for adults. And I'm thinking, what if these people weren't walking into a fun Halloween festival? What if they were walking into a slaughter?
Yeah.
And that was the idea that inspired this whole story.
Okay.
Wow.
Being a young film enthusiast, especially horror, I'm coming up with stories in my mind. And I used to run around my backyard with a VHS camcorder, basically forcing my friends to do movies with me, right?
I can relate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was I was that young nerdy film school or film student, kind of like that one character from Friday Part 7 that's pitching all his bad movies to all their friends.
Oh, yes. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
I was basically that guy pitching
Just
these.
as long as you
Space
weren't
Mummy or whatever it is that he does.
Yeah.
just as long as you weren't Shelley from 3.
No. I'm not the prankster with every mask in my closet. Well, actually, I do have every mask in my closet.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Shelley?
So, Jacoby, you were...
Play the music.
I thought Shelley was a really nice guy. There's nothing that bad about him.
No?
I thought his jokes were funny. He gave Jason the mask. Anyways. So yeah, you're working at the Village of Terror, and you got this fantastic idea about these people are unbeknownst to them. They think they're walking into fun, and it's not fun.
Yeah, ultimately. Okay. And for, first couple of years, it's like, I really want to make this indie movie. And I had dreams of making it a big thing and trying to rope in some of the cast and crew and making it that indie movie, right? That Sam Raimi Evil Dead. But, as a young high schooler that's very passionate about stuff, sometimes the realism of stuff doesn't actually hit you. Because you're not in the real world dealing with budgets and stuff like that.
Yeah. And putting your entire life online and maxing out every credit card that you could get applied for. And yeah.
So, a year or two later, I was in college. I was studying art because at heart, I've always been an artist.
And you're a hell of a drawer, man. Hell of an illustrator.
It's crazy.
Paging through those books, vibrant colors, all eye-catching. The monsters are amazing. The chicks are beautiful.
So, first of all,
the chicks are beautiful.
They are. Have you looked at it?
Chicks, man. Yeah.
A good horror story's got to have some likable ladies.
High praise. But I do got to give credit where credit's due. I made good friends with a colleague in college, and I actually had a friend of mine do all the coloring.
Okay.
He and I worked together closely on it, and I will praise him to no end. He masterfully captures those rich oranges, vibrant greens, and royal purples that are so closely tied to
And you sent me some pictures that were
Halloween.
the contrast of the before and after, and he did do a huge...
What's his name? Shout him out.
His name is Andrew Waldy. Incredible artist. I don't have his handle right here, but if I can snag it before this goes live.
Yeah, send it to me. I'll put it in the show notes. Yeah.
Yeah. Colors, illustration. So I'm in college, and I realized, you know what? I really want to tell this story, but, I'm probably not going to have that Sam Raimi type of experience. So I'm going to tell this thing in graphic novel form. Around the time I was getting into comic books, was reading a lot of comics, and I'm like, I can draw. You know what? I'm going to tell my story this way.
And that was one of my questions, right? Is like, you have this idea for a story, and you could write the story via words, right? And you could put all the detail you want in it. You could make a screenplay. You could do all that stuff. I look at this book, and you worked on this thing for over a decade, and you chose, let's just say, the one of the probably arguably the hardest path to tell the story with a graphic novel.
Well, it's because he didn't trust everybody else's imagination. With the story.
But I mean, like, not only do you have the story to tell, but you have this thing of like, you have this vision, and now you're like, I gotta put now you drew all this stuff, right? And then it was colorized and stuff. So so now you're putting, it's one thing to put your thoughts into words. It's another thing to get your words, your thoughts into pictures that make sense, you know, like in like that type of format. That's going like above and beyond. And me, like, you know, I could write something, I could do whatever. When it comes to artistry, oh fuck, man, like I have an issue with drawn stick figures, right? Like it's rough. So I mean, like, why? So it was just your love from comic books then?
Well, I've always been an artist.
To do this, I mean, like, this book is substantial. It's over 300 pages, right?
It's 304 pages, and as a frame of reference, the very first Harry Potter book, The Sorcerer's Stone, is 309 pages of text. This is 304 pages of drawings.
Yes.
And then a lot of other graphic designers would take small parts and make little comic books, and then once you had 25 in the series, then you'd smash together and make a compendium, right? But
no.
Other
ones.
I'm saying
Other
people
do, yeah.
But you...
Oh, yeah, it's me start to finish.
The patience, the hard work, like, I know me as a fast worker, you know what I mean? I would have been like, oh my God, I love this first part. I'm going to put this out and then slowly build it. Where you actually had the fortitude and patience to
perseverance
hold out.
Is the word.
Sure.
You hit it right on the head. People will write these in comic style and then make a compendium. You wrote a full-length book of a graphic novel, right? And even graphic novels are like...
for that. I wouldn't... you said persistence, or what did you say?
Perseverance,
yes. Man, you've been holding this out to share it with the world till now, and the day has finally come. And couldn't be more proud of you as well, man. And I'm the same way. Like, when I do my stories, I do little boxes and I draw little stick figures, kind of like Nate. I mean, I don't have the artistic, but I like to see it and then write in the words and stuff. But yeah, man, this is top notch stuff. This isn't like this. Well, I wouldn't say like, hey man, you didn't half-ass it. Like, it goes way more than that. Like, you wrote a full story of a graphic novel, and I've read graphic novels and plenty of graphic novels, and they're like, what, 80, 90 pages to tell the whole story or something like that. This is a full-fledged book in graphic novel format, and this is like, it's insane the amount of work that it went into it.
Yeah, in a way, it's storyboards. It's a movie in visual format.
Yeah. Okay,
with a little bit of more dynamic poses to fit in with the graphic novel style.
Yeah.
Did this scratch that sort of cinematic itch that you talked about when you were younger? Like,
absolutely. I mean, the great thing about this is, with a movie, you have a board of producers over you that say, change this, do that. This is my vision the way I have it in my head.
This is your movie.
This is the director's cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
You told us a little bit about the beginning, about how it's, people unbeknownstly coming into a carnival, a horror carnival of sorts. Can you tell us a little bit more about, like, maybe the main character or the main villain? Or, I mean, without spoiling it, we all want to read the book, but I want to know a little bit more of the details of the story or whatnot.
Yeah, so, a lot of the characters in this were based around experiences, people, and friends that I knew kind of growing up. But essentially...
So I'm in the book?
I wish I'd have known you sooner. You probably would have been.
I could have been the killer at the end, maybe.
Your pumpkin tits.
Yeah.
Pumpkin tits.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm just kidding.
It's horrible.
But there is a main antagonist. Am I right?
Yes.
Is that you?
No.
No. Okay.
The writer is his own antagonist.
Okay.
So
Well, a lot of people in their first project write themselves into.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, is it like a female version of you, perhaps?
So
a great
actually,
question.
that is an excellent question. So every character, I think we kind of compartmentalize ourselves when we're talking with different groups of people. Like to your grandparents, you're the sweet, loving grandchild. To your friends, you're the raunchy, comedic clown, or to the people you need to impress, you're the more serious, tough guy, right?
You're saying but you mean you.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So I've kind of based some of the personalities based around these different versions of myself or my friends and people that inspired me growing up. That's kind of how I formulated each of the characters. And over time, you kind of work and rework them until they really find their own identity. But some of these characters, they go through like real life struggles of stuff that I've dealt with growing up. Like the primary protagonist, Nancy, she's dealing with a recent loss in her family, a very a fatherly figure that was an important role model to her.
Okay. Nancy, Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yes, there was some inspiration from Heather Langenkamp's character. In fact, her character name is Nancy Nev Lagan-Campbell.
Oh, yeah. There we go. There's
an egg
We
there.
fucking hit them all on that one.
I wear them on my sleeve, if I will.
So that's one thing I wanted to ask you about is because it looks like some of the chapter, because there's chapters, right, in this?
I don't really...
Or segments?
I don't really break it down into chapters or even separate issues.
Okay, well, there's some definite story breaks that look straight out of an EC Comics. And I'm talking Tales from the Crypt, the Vault of Horror, all that stuff
The Abyss,
from
Tales
the
from the
1950s,
Abyss,
60s horror comics, right? There's definitely throwbacks to that. So it's a clear homage on some of that stuff. Fantastically realized, by the way, on that. And then you mentioned Nancy Lagan-Campbell and Nancy Reagan Lagan-Campbell. So what are some of the influences? Because this is just a horror film fan's delight, right? To read this. So I know that there's a lot of homages.
There's a lot of more Easter eggs.
Yeah. What are some
like
of the Easter eggs that a person might find in this?
So there's a lot of nods and tip of the hats to different things, but you can't outright I can't just draw Freddy Krueger in the background because
and nor would you, right?
Yeah. New Line had come after me right away. But when I started this as a young teenager, you think, oh, I like that guy, so maybe I'll just draw this character to look like that person, only to later on you find out, oh, no, you can't draw that person because the family owns the rights to their likeness, even though they've been dead for 50 years. Yeah. So it's like, okay, I got to go back and draw that completely different. So that's another reason it's taken 10 years. Sure. Because I started this before I had knowledge of how the world works.
So what are some of the, different question. What are some of your favorite horror homages that you have in this book?
So if I had to liken this, I don't know. If I had to liken this to anything, I guess I'm not particularly answering your question, but...
Well, yeah, but still.
If I had to give this a flavor or a vibe, I'd say it's kind of like Dream Warriors meets Lost Boys and somehow mixes with Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Somebody out there in the horror listening audience just ejaculated all over their phone, right? Like just to hear Dream Warriors, Lost Boys, all this stuff.
Corey just left the office.
Yeah.
But,
come on,
Corey got butt naked on this, but okay, so that's huge iconic works in horror.
Well, I'm very 80s horrific.
Oh, yes. There is a lot of vibrancy.
Does it take place in the 80s?
It's kind of in a time of its own. I pay literally when I started drawing this book, one of the characters had a BlackBerry phone with a keyboard.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, that's no longer in the book. That's basically a deleted scene off the table now. So it kind of takes place in a time of its own.
So you tried to keep it evergreen then?
Yes.
You remove some of that stuff? Yeah.
It spans time.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it's my own world. Like,
Does it take place in like Wisconsin or?
It is in Wisconsin.
Okay.
It is in basically our area of Wisconsin, but it's a fictional town of. Hang on, I'm blanking right now. I've had too much bourbon.
We like to get our authors drunk.
Autumn Hollow.
That's how we get the good scoop
Autumn
on this podcast.
Autumn Hollow, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Cool name.
Oh,
But
yeah.
if you look in the background, there's like a map somewhere with a star like right on our neck of the wood.
Okay. Cool,
Nice.
cool.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
But to go back to like the homages and flavors, this is essentially a loving homage to the entire horror film genre. Everything black and white films, silent, to the present, splatterific
A lot of
films
sprinkled
of the 80s.
surprise, which is where I mistakenly, as I flipped through it, because I haven't had the privilege to read it in full.
Yeah, you're still
But
getting copies as we
I
actively talk
filter
about this,
through
right?
it and I look through the pages, there's so many different characters, which takes place because it's a horror carnival
Yeah, it's
Halloween thing. But I'm saying, yeah, like I saw the old Nosferatu vampires and I saw the zombies and I saw all, and you would think all these different characters, all these different scenes and places, it almost feels like a whole bunch of stories mashed together into one conclusive story. And I love that. These ADD kids are going to love it because, you know what I mean? We're not seeing the same picture of the same maniac stalking the same teenagers. We have different set pieces, different areas, different places. It's so visually fun to look at. And what monster am I going to see next? You know what I mean? What scare is coming up next? The it's limitless. You know what I mean?
So there is so much to unpack here with the entire story. In fact, we keep jumping forward and backwards and all over. So maybe I should do my due diligence and just kind of give the synopsis by reading the back of my book.
Absolutely, yeah.
Nancy and the Ravens, a gang of rambunctious teenage friends, just want to have some fun on Halloween night. So they do what any teenagers would do. Decide to attend a mysterious local Halloween festival. Their decision ends up being more than they bargained for when Lord Halloween, an ancient evil sorcerer tied to Halloween's past, wreaks havoc upon the festival goers. Using a magical ember, Lord Halloween transforms the carnival's costumed actors and guests into an army of grotesque monsters and demons who kidnap Nancy's closest friend, Katrina. To save her, the Ravens must battle against countless ghouls, spooks, and some of their worst nightmares. In a race against the clock, they'll need to do everything they can to save Katrina's very soul from ultimate peril. Will the gang be able to save their ill-fated friend? Can they stop the forces of evil and thwart Lord Halloween's sinister plans? Will anyone even make it out alive? One thing is for certain. It's sure to be an epic Halloween adventure.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And by the way, you read that back, I have a great idea. We're going to hit up Andrew Bowser from Onyx the Fortuitous and have him do the audiobook.
Oh, God. Yes.
You had so much attitude, and Andrew Bowser, when you read that. Or maybe Bruce Campbell.
I guess
yeah, I don't know.
Keith David.
I love that. It has the spirit of, this is so much fun. Such a transition from our last book that we talked about, too. Not that it's not fun, but I love the campy.
No pun intended, I think.
I love I love the campy enthusiasm you have for this book. Well, no,
I love it because, like I said at the beginning of this podcast, we're spanning
these two books
ends of
couldn't
the
be more
spectrum.
different.
Right.
Yeah, they couldn't. They really couldn't.
But we have that
the
connection,
horror
right?
connection,
So
right? And that's what's so beautiful about it.
It's great hearing you talk about your experiences because I feel like that. Yeah, like that's where.
Yeah, totally.
And later, Andrew and I could probably speak to the processes that we've gone through. We actually had a little conversation off air.
Off mic.
Yeah.
How much of, I was curious, like, for you, Jacoby, like, did this always start as a project, like, that I want to get this out into the world? Or was there a point where, like, nope, this was just for me, and then suddenly you're like, wait, maybe there's a wider audience? Like, or did you always, like 13 years ago, did you always envision this as a...
I'm going to be famous. I'm going to leave all you fuckers behind.
Hubris.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it was just, like, it's movies for yourself, right?
Yeah.
But you kind of catch a vibe that you like from these movies. And the more you go to these horror conventions and talk to some fellow savage horror creeps, you're like, you know, other people kind of think like me, and I'm not on as much of an island as I thought I was.
Well, I mean, you gotta make the book for yourself,
it's a comfort,
but at
though.
the same time, God, is it so much fun to share it with everybody? Yeah.
Oh, I've had so much fun writing and illustrating this. I really hope people accept it and just love it as much as I've put into it.
I mean, even looking at the cover of it, there's just so much detail that you put into every single one of the frames. Is that what you call them? Frames?
Yeah,
on that?
panels. But
panels. Okay, so I mean, there's just so much detail and time and effort. Like every bit of that work that you put into over the decade really shines through on some of this stuff, and it's just it's incredible how much you packed into this thing. And like I said, I can't stress enough, this would normally be like a fucking 80-page graphic novel. That's what a normal person would do. You're like, no, I'm taking this to book format right now. I'm going to take this to book length. And it's just crazy how much you did that, did with this. You talked about a little bit of the film influences that you have on that, which was Dream Warriors.
Clowns from Outer Space.
Clowns from Outer
Lost
Space
Boys.
was the other one
Lost
I was thinking
Boys,
of, right?
yeah.
And Lost Boys. But
What
there's
comics?
a clear, so that's a good question. Let's hold on. I want to ask that one too, because it definitely have to have some graphic novels.
Yeah. Simmer down. Well, ask the question. Ask him.
Know your place. Know your place. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Ask him books?
But I think that it was super important for you to embrace Halloween and get the vibe of that entire season, the culture, all that stuff into this book. How, like, what were some of those things that you like? Did you like sit down and were like, what does Halloween mean to me? Like, were you like going through nostalgic memories of like growing up as a kid? I mean, you're working at obviously you're working at a haunted house.
I actually just kind of just put it into words for the first time today while I was working on this Kickstarter campaign.
Okay.
When it comes to the feeling of the Halloween season, I kind of illustrated a romanticized version of what I experienced growing up in the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah,
That Halloween was
right.
better.
Yeah, because like one of my favorite things I know this is random, this is digression, but like Stranger Things, right? When they all dress up like the Ghostbusters and they're out trick-or-treating on Halloween, felt like such a moment from my childhood. When I was watching
awesome.
that. It really did. And it felt like, holy shit, with fall and you're dressed up as a Ghostbuster and you're doing all these things. It really felt like that. And it's clear in your book that Halloween is coming through. So like, what were some of those things that you really did to like say, because you're not just pulling in horror genres and you're not pulling in horror movies, you're pulling in Halloween. Like I would want to read this every Halloween, just like I watch every, like Monster Squad or Halloween at Halloween time. We all have that list. Horror fans all have a list of Halloween movies that they have to watch during the month of October.
Hollow, right? Like
Right? Yeah. Like how do you embrace that?
That kind of was a goal when I was writing this. I'm like, when I'm out looking at the graphic novel section and Books A Million or whatever, I don't see a lot of books custom tailored to Halloween itself. And I'm just like, I want a book that gives me that feeling of the Halloween season. So like some of the like influences you might see are like, remember when you were a kid and those like paper die cuts decorated everything?
Oh, yeah.
It's like that was a vibe when you're running down the streets and the leaves are blowing past you in the dark and you're running door to door trying to get as much candy as you can.
And then watching Ernest Scared Stupid.
Yeah, fun stuff like that.
Also a every Halloween year movie of mine.
Wow, you don't love it as much as Jacoby does. That's his top 5 all time. Come on.
Okay, that's
No,
true.
Main
That's
Burn.
true.
It's pretty.
That's true. Hocus Pocus.
But yeah, I mean, it was
every year.
The Halloween
Let's not go
influence.
there.
But
So I got
You don't like Hocus Pocus?
I lost at trivia.
I got to speak to
Oh, yeah, okay.
I got to speak to Ernest, I've got to speak to Hocus Pocus, and I got to relate it to the book. Now, when we think of Halloween stories or horror books, a lot of the times people are drawing these books that have heavy black shadows and muted color palettes. But to me, Halloween wasn't a muted holiday. It was full of these rich, vibrant greens, purples, and oranges. It was fun. It was exciting. It was energetic. It wasn't gloomy and dark, you know?
No, I mean, think about a traditional pumpkin or the pumpkin things that we'd all put our candy in, right? Mm-hmm. Bright orange, right? Yeah, there was nothing.
Or white.
Or purple.
Or
but that
green, slime
They
green.
were just all like bright orange,
Goosebumps
right?
covers. They were bright.
Yes, that's great. Goosebumps covers.
Yes, totally. Even going back to the EC horror comics, those were so vibrant. Those were so bright. And they were dealing with so much dark material, too. You know, like really dark shit.
You nailed it on the head, yeah. And they were gruesome and fun and kind of for adults. I mean, that's why
they were definitely for adults.
They were outlaws.
For kids.
Because kids were getting their hands on them. And
that's not true, Corey. I've been going through so they've been putting out the Tales from the Crypt EC comics in compendiums recently, and I picked up 5 volumes of it, and I've been going through them all.
We have to drink every time compendium is said, I think.
Yeah, all right. And honestly, I'm watching an episode of Tales from the Crypt right now, but it is so bright, it's so vibrant, and it's, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years old at this point?
Yeah.
It's getting close to it.
It was like around somewhere in the middle of the 50s that they had that hearing, and essentially the Comics Code Authority came into existence and banned anything gruesome. After that, things had to be... holy smokes, Batman, you know?
Yeah.
Things weren't dark and real.
I feel like even if we were able to teleport back and look at Halloween, you know, on the outside from when we were kids, right? Maybe it's, you know, not as vibrant as we remember it, but I feel like what's important is, you know, maybe not how it was, but how we sort of look back and think, this is how I experienced it, right? This is
right. Yeah. Yes. Well, that's the other thing about this too, is like, I want to read this on Halloween, right? Yeah. I want to read this during the Halloween season because it is full of nostalgia. Yeah. It throws me into that vibe,
like this,
you know,
and to me as a kid, and that's what I think you capture, right? And like that, this is how,
the vibe of the Goosebumps, the vibes of older comics, the Killer Clowns of Outer Space, the great 80s movies that you would share with your child, and then you'd watch as an adult as well. I mean, I can see a lot of you growing up incorporated into that book, and I think you did. You nailed it, buddy. You nailed it.
Thank you.
And it's you know, I'm not trying to say this is old. I mean, there's new influence into that too. You know, you can see but I even see like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know what I'm saying? Like the cartoons from when we were kids.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
it has.
There's literally a character on the cover holding nunchucks.
There you go. Yeah,
nice.
I mean, it is. And I don't want to say it, you know, it's an original work of art, but it's nostalgia fueled too.
This is an original work of art.
Yeah. If you would have given me that when I was 12, boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
Boy. I mean, it's great now too, but I'm saying, that you're a little bit younger than me, but I can feel the great things about growing up for horror stories. But you do say that it is a R-rated.
So
that was one question that I had. Oh, and we got to get back to the comics too.
Oh, the influence.
Well, I think we kind of did, but yeah.
Oh, you're talking other horror comics. I will mention that later on, one of my book recommendations was an influence to this, and we'll circle back to that.
Oh,
later.
Yeah, okay, I know where you're going to go with this.
What about but did you want to ask about his artists' influences, like other visual artists that might have?
Well, that's definitely something I'll cover with the
books,
with the book
Got
recommendations. Okay, cool. So it is R-rated.
So
that was important to you to make this an R-rated graphic novel, right?
Yeah. So like the back of the cover, I've kind of taken influence. When I was a kid, I'd go into video stores, and we had one that outlasted like Netflix for the longest time. Stanley Boyd.
Yeah. There's always the holdouts, right?
And there's literally even a chapter in here when they go into a video store. And I wrote this like 10 years ago, where this character was talking about VHS like it's the vinyl record of our time, only for it to like recently become the vinyl record of our time.
It is. Yeah, it really is. Yep.
But yeah, there's just this whole time capsule thing about that. So the back cover is modeled after some of these old stock VHSs you'd find in your local video store. It was originally rated R because us horror fans, we wear the R rating like a badge of honor.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was really proud of that.
NC-17 for me.
Yeah, not enough boobs as we've already covered, but yeah.
NC-17.
But earlier this year, I was showing this to one of my colleagues higher up, and I noticed that he actually brought it up. Ooh, rated R. I don't know if I can carry this or not. And I got to thinking, us horror fans, we might love the R rating, and it's our seal of approval. But the average book reader looks at R rating and thinks, "Oh, I don't want to touch that."
Well, shit. Doesn't this just come full circle to the conversation we were having about the horror genre as a whole, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
So, in order to make it a little more reader friendly, I've changed the rating from R to H for horror. Because realistically, the MPAA is just made up bullshit.
You just re-raised all the nipples.
Right, yeah.
Just re-raised the nipples.
Put pasties on them, yeah.
Re-raised the nipples.
As I have in the description here, implied nudity.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
not in there.
Yeah.
Side boob at
No, that's very cool.
I wanted to ask about. There's obviously a black and white version of all of this before the colorist came in.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean,
where's that? That's the real director's cut.
Only because I feel like because there are filmmakers who've gone back, right? Like I think of like Darabont did the black and white Mist, and then recently like the Shush cut of Flanagan's Hush, which got released, which is a black and white version of the film.
Really?
Which
Logan did
I
that.
didn't know that.
He actually prefers it because not only did they strip the color out, they took the sound design out. So it's just whatever noise. There's no musical score.
Oh, so it's basically whatever the main character is experiencing.
And you might hear ambient noises like from being outside, but there's no score, and it's in black and white. So I'm just curious because I know there are black and white sections in this because you mentioned kind of covering the history of horror. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just you want to talk about like so when you look at the black and white version versus the color, like you made a decision obviously to do that. Maybe talk about.
Yeah, so there is a sequence or two in this. Particularly one character kind of has to confront a black and white type setting, and that's my way of tipping my hat to the old monster movies of the 30s and 40s.
Or homage, yeah.
Yeah. Like I say, it's not just, even though I kind of dumbed it down to Lost Boys, Dream Warriors, and Killer
There's
Clowns.
much more than that.
It's an homage to everything. It's a love letter to the entire horror film genre and the entire Halloween season.
Yeah, there you go. Fantastic, man. I applaud you, man. Both of you guys. I am. I don't want to say I'm jealous, but I am envious of you guys' hard work. You guys have accomplished something, and you guys both have done something really great. And I couldn't be more proud to have you guys in my camp. And
absolutely.
Wow,
your sleepaway camp.
Your sleep. Your book. Okay, so we talked about how much detail there is on all these not frames. What did you call them?
Panels. But
panels. Yes.
Frames work as well because I've kind of framed all my panels.
So we talked about how much detail you put into all these panels. Over 10 years, and this might be a hard question to ask, but you have put so much detail into some of these panels. What do you think your revision process was like? Because like writing, I mean, Andy, how many times did you revise your book?
Oh, it was
you worked on it for 6 years, right?
Yeah,
so
there was lots of. I mean, I most recently would have been last summer, and then once the press got interested, it was another couple passes through. Once from an editor, once from me. So yeah, it was just ongoing.
And that's what a lot of people don't. That's what a lot of people don't understand is like when you're writing a book, you're gonna read this fucking thing and you're gonna change it, and where you started goes to a whole different place.
Yes, that's
and you are going to, the evolution of it, and you are going to revise a normal book. And I'm not talking. This is not a normal book, Jacoby. What you did, okay? what I'm talking about, though, is like when you're writing a word book, I mean, you're doing at least a dozen revisions or something before it gets published, right? And you're constantly tinkering and you're constantly getting feedback and you're changing it based on what an editor wants, what a maybe a publisher wants, all this stuff. And you're constantly trying to manipulate your story to be your story, but also what gets it out there to the public, right? This is on a different level because of all the fucking detail that you put through the panels. What is the revision process like with something like that, right?
I'm going to have to answer that in the same way I drew this book, and it's non-consecutively.
Yeah, but I mean, like, are you going back to some panels and you're like, I'm going to put a couple pumpkins in here or something like that, like, or miss.
Actually, I did that on a page.
I'm sitting here looking at this cover, right? You have this like pumpkin skull. You have these people that are facing it. You have the carnival in the background, but then you have these trees. You have this line of pumpkins. You have leaves. You have all these different colors. You have bats in the sky. I mean, like, just to draw something like this is not like what does a revision of that do? I mean, like, that's several revisions just to come up with that cover, right?
You pretty much start from scratch. I've got probably a handful of variant covers sprinkled throughout the story to kind of bridge it here and there.
Yeah.
But actually, the cover was the last thing I drew for the entire story because when I got done, I had to go through everything. I'm like, what speaks to the identity of my book? And all of the covers that I came up with, they had elements of what I wanted people to see, but they weren't all in one picture. So I kind of had to pull an element from this one from that one, make some new stuff, and start a new cover over. And I guess as a frame of reference, this might be 304 pages. But each page takes me, on average, sometimes more, sometimes less, but more often than not, 16 hours to illustrate. Wow. And that's not including the coloring, that's not including the word ballooning, that's not including the formatting.
Wow.
That's just penciling and inking your pencils.
Wow.
My God.
And that's even before you start illustrating, because before that, you need to essentially create like... I essentially came up with outlines for the entire story, but when you break it down, you're creating outlines for entire scenes, like what needs to be conveyed, what's the message, how can I convey this, how many pages can I convey it in. I have to cut this amount of information from 6 pages down to 3 pages. How can I convey what I wanted to draw in 6 pages to just 3 pages?
Well, and that's what I'm talking about is that... You know, that goes back to my original question where it's just like you definitely did not choose the path of least resistance with formulating the story. You arguably picked the hardest path to tell this story, and it pays off. I mean, this is a work of true art. I mean, it's genius. It's beautiful. It's you know, you should be very, very proud of what you did here because people, even graphic artists, are not going to the levels that you took this book to. Some of them are, you know, but you know, some of them aren't. I'm saying.
And if I can speak more to the revisions and the fact that it took me like 13 years.
Yeah.
My drawing style and my knowledge of how to draw these panels changed over time.
That's an interesting, yeah.
Because this is 13 years of
you got to
learning.
make it consistent.
Yes.
Well, and then you're telling a whole story, right? Like it's 304 pages. Like I said, you're telling an entire novel through a graphic form. You know, writing a novel is just you're constantly changing it. And you're like, oh, I like this idea. You know, where I could just be like, if I wrote this paragraph, this might solve the little plot hole that I have. You can't do that. You have to draw. You have to do hours upon hours of work
erasers
to do that.
There's a eraser.
There's erasers. I forgot about erasers. So yeah, but no, I mean, like, even a revision is above and beyond what a normal revision would do.
Not just
for
deleting a line or a paragraph.
Yeah, you can't do that, right?
There are whole scenes that were fully drawn and colored that are deleted from this book because in the grand scheme of things, it didn't fit the flow of the story. It wasn't cohesive enough. it didn't work.
Which is the hardest thing. Which is the hardest thing for the author to do. Which is kill your darlings.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
But your darlings are so much more fucking precious than my darlings could ever be, right? Because like, you just spent 16 hours on this one panel, page, whatever, and now you're like, doesn't fit here. I got to take it out, and all that work is on a cutting room floor somewhere.
Exactly, like a movie. There's whole scenes that are shot that don't make it in.
But yeah, you're arguably putting more work into what a film might do with some of this stuff.
And those
you
are
know?
such hard conversations to have with yourself too. Like,
Oh
when you
my
recognize, like, yeah, this is, and usually it's hours into the process where you're like, or drafts, right? Like, this is not, and there's a relief. Maybe did you feel a relief? I mean, in the sense like, okay, this is gone now. I'm like, okay, why didn't I just like have that moment? Because I cut chapters from the manuscript, right? So these were chapters that were hours and drafts, and but I remember feeling like, wow, I feel kind of relieved now, even though I put all this time into this. I'm glad this part's out of the book, and it solved a problem. Instead of me trying to like bang my head against a wall of like, how do I make this fit? It was just easier to cut.
But to lose days of your life.
But that's what I'm
You know,
asking.
like,
was
to lose
there a
days of your
kind of
life.
weird relief to it for you too, Jacoby? Like when
You hit the nail on the head, because like an example I can give is each of my characters had their own individual introduction that took like 1 or 2 pages each. But at the end of the day, when the story had to be cohesive, it didn't really bond my characters together. So their own individual introductions that kind of give the reader an insight to what their life is like, they're gone now. I essentially had to kind of create a childhood bond where you see them interacting as kids, and then another one where you see them all interacting as adults. And just through a little bit of conversation, you kind of get a general idea of who they are.
Yeah. Okay, so I know you're still working on a Kickstarter for this right now, but by the time that this episode airs, that all should be figured out, and it'll be again in the show notes for people to order this. And I cannot recommend both these books enough. It's crazy how much work you guys put into this. But tell the listeners right now, like, where can we find this book?
The Kickstarter. I don't really know how Kickstarters work either, but I know that you have a goal that you have to reach. So the preferred way is to join this and become part producer in a way to your,
Too late to get a credit in the book?
Unfortunately, it's through final
We tried. We really tried. No, anyway. But yeah, please tell us how we could pick up a copy of this.
So, Kickstarter is essentially an all-or-nothing fundraising campaign. Someday, I would like to ship this around to a couple major publishers that I've got high hopes to get into.
Yeah.
But when you submit a book to the publishers, they want you to make changes as per their interest and recommendation. So before that is solidified by the producers of whoever released the book, I want my director's cut out there so that if anyone does take a good liking to the book in some capacity someday, they can be like, wait, the director's cut's out there essentially, and my vision still exists. It's not sheltered in my mind or in the
manipulated by an editor, and
that doesn't. I'm just thinking of like sometimes if you're publishing a book, right? Like a more like a print, right?
A paperback.
Sometimes they're like, well, we're not interested, maybe in work that's already been out there, but that's not necessarily going to be a hindrance for you, right? Like where you could have this version that you've done of the book, but that wouldn't necessarily like disqualify you from like a.
I've kind of heard it both ways. I've heard it that, sometimes releasing your story out there can get you picked up. And then I've heard it in some cases that might, because ultimately these are businesses and they want to make all the money they can.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't think there's anything wrong with going independently the way that you're doing it, but yeah. So we're going to do that, and then we have a goal that we have to reach, so we need a lot of support from the community.
And you're going to have different versions of this book, though, right? You have a hard-covered version, you have a soft-covered version.
Oh, yeah, the tiers.
There's the hardcover deluxe version, which is, for the true bibliomaniac, maybe. I'm not sure if that's the right word. But
sounds good.
Anyone that has a passion for a good-looking library, this is going to be the hardcover with the dust jacket edition. I don't know, as a person that likes a good looking library, I like a hardcover.
And listeners, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, you get what you pay for with this. Yeah, for sure.
The more cost-effective to both produce and print and distribute would be the soft cover or the trade paperback version. So pretty much the same book, but a soft cover. That'll be made available at a lower cost. And because my colorist worked very hard with me, I did pay him for his time, but honestly, he worked so hard. I only wish I could pay him more, and I will forever be in his debt and forever pay him back. I wanted to give him a chance at making some profit on this book too. So I allowed him to create a variant cover art, his own design, his own artwork that is on the book. So there's a variant cover version of the book in trade paperback form that has his cover art. Otherwise, the whole rest of the book's the exact same. Any profits made from that book are going to go directly to my colorist for his hard work and effort and dedication.
Fantastic. And when they pick this up and make it like a clown in the cornfield where Corey shits on it, right? Yeah. But
it's not teen novel horror.
That's true. It's not.
Well, that'll just be one of those conversations where people go, book was better.
Yeah, that's true. There you go. No, it's super impressive effort, and I want to thank you both, Jacoby and Andy, for coming on the podcast and sharing these awesome fucking books. Awesome. Because we had, I'm blown away by what you guys did, and I'm sure our listeners are going to be too. So.
I know we're kind of putting a button on things, but if I could just explain the Kickstarter a little bit more.
Oh, yeah, please, yeah.
So Kickstarter works on an all or nothing type of premise where basically the cost of printing these books is much more expensive, and I don't have the money to print a copy for everyone. So I have to essentially have everyone, they don't allow the word pre-order, but essentially make a pledge. You are pledging to the cause, you're essentially making a donation to the cause, but if you make the specified donation amount, you will get the version of the book that you pledge for. The catch is if we don't reach our goal, which at present unfortunately has to be around $10,000, none of the books are printed, nobody gets a book, and nobody's card is charged. But if we do reach our goal, everyone that pledges for a copy will get a copy, and it can continue on past that. Essentially, just look at it not as the end goal you have to reach. Just if you're interested in a book, pledge for your book, or a book for a friend you know that would be interested in Halloween or horror movies or that type of story. There is a deadline. At this point in time, I have it set to be the 12th of June. After that deadline, if we don't reach our goal, well, it's bust, I guess.
Yeah, I really don't think about this, and hopefully you can send me some pictures that we could put it up on our socials too for people to see some of the incredible artwork that you put into this, because I think that's going to speak volumes once people see that, and they're going to be like, yeah, I want a fucking copy of that. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. So you're going to get there, and super impressive stuff. And thank you both for bringing your books to this horror community. I mean, it's amazing, right? It's amazing what both of you did. So,
thank you.
Thank you.
You got some book recommendations, Jacoby?
Yeah, I got some solid book recommendations. It was hard to kind of limit it. I'm going to start with my honorable mention, which is the IDW Ghostbusters franchise. Now I have just one of the trade paperbacks here. Like, the actual series is probably like, I wouldn't even be able to put it into issues, but if you stacked them up as books, they'd probably be at least 5 to 7 inches tall in literature.
Oh, wow. So multiple issues then.
Oh, yeah. It's been an ongoing series for years, but the writers perfectly nail all of the characters. You can hear the actors in their personas.
Is that a compendium?
No, this
Take a drink.
Bastard. When do we do that? Every time we think
we're doing it now. Compendium.
Cheers.
What does that mean? Did you guys talk like when I was in the car?
We said it offhandedly. Yeah,
you were sleeping, I think.
What the fuck?
Anyway.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, but like they know the
Is
details.
that the Ghostbuster characters from the movie?
Yeah, the movies. I mean, it ropes everything in here from the cartoon.
Okay.
I mean, this is a crossing.
Oh, so like the real Ghostbusters and everything like that?
Oh yeah, everything.
Oh,
I mean,
cool.
If you look on the cover, they got the cartoon. I mean,
Oh, yeah, sure.
it's hard to describe, but I don't know a writer that perfectly nails characters from a movie better. Like you can hear the voices in every line of dialogue, and the background has deep cut Easter eggs drawn into it that only like people that watched every episode of the frickin' animated show would notice.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
I mean, I'm not the biggest Ghostbusters fan. I just the first 2 movies, and then the new ones, but I can't remember those ones.
So all of them.
yeah. You just left out the one with the girls, pretty much.
The cartoon.
Down with chicks.
Well, I didn't watch the cartoon.
Chicks, man. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, that looks cool.
I've always said that if my entire book or library collection of comics burnt up, which ones would I rebuy? And the Ghostbusters series is at the top of that.
Really? Wow.
That's a huge recommendation.
No, he is a Ghostbuster of like the Midwest Ghostbuster or something, right?
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. I'm part of the group, but I don't participate nearly as much as I should. They reach out, help different community members, and they're awesome people. Moving on. Okay, now I'm actually getting into the list. Number 5, and it was really hard for me to put this at number 5. Pet Sematary. Stephen King's Pet Sematary.
Good choice.
And I confess, I don't actually get the time to sit down and read books a lot. I'm always working on something or working. So I'm often listening to audiobooks, and the audiobook of this is one of the best I've ever listened to.
Okay.
Like when you're a kid, you hear that Stephen King's a good writer, but when you actually sit down and read or listen to his books, he really connects with you on a realistic level that is like he writes about stuff you shouldn't write about. Like real life experiences that like you think this, but you don't say it, but he writes it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't remember writing them.
That's one of his biggest. Yeah, on some of them. On some of them, he doesn't. But that's one of his biggest
That's
traits.
part of his
is
genius.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like he's able to write to that common voice that we all know, you know, and we can all connect with it. So
I always wanted to read Pet Sematary, so yeah,
it's a great book.
It's very good.
Get on Libby. That's the library system. You might have to wait a little bit, but if you got time to listen to a book, highly recommend it. At the top of the list.
Yeah. All right. What else you got?
Moving down the list, number 4, H.P. Lovecraft's The Dunwich Horror.
Nice.
Okay.
Also another one that you can actually listen to on YouTube. It really creates a very foreboding atmosphere. But you really just kind of get the sense of this like kind of like I always envision this like 1920s rural areas kind of thing.
Is that not a witch thing? Or I'm thinking of something different.
No, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, no, this is the very cosmic, right? If I'm remembering this correctly.
Okay.
Like
It's one of the smaller cosmic ones, but yeah.
Was Color Out of Space kind of
very similar vibes?
Okay, yeah.
Is it based off of it? No. Okay.
But there's a Dunwich horror film.
Okay.
From the 70s.
There is.
Is it closely tied to the story? I got the vibe from the trailer that it goes off and does its own thing.
Yeah. I think it goes off on its own thing, but it's considered part of the Lovecraft.
You're not tackling Lovecraft in the 70s. Let's be honest.
True.
It's kind of told from like almost like a different person's perspective, witnessing this family that has like this weird ritual, and this child is born into their family and they're just a little off and a little different, and people catch glimpses of them, and you just witness the degradation might be the word of like this family and this person and the weird stuff that happens, and then it culminates in some cosmic Lovecraftian horror monster that most people can't see kind of thing. But it is spectacular storytelling. I've listened to several H.P. Lovecrafts, and this one's at the top of the list.
Nice.
Moving down from that, my number 3 was hard for me to put at number 3, but I gotta put Stephen King's Christine at 3.
Wow. You're like, wow.
Well, he loves that. I mean, I see Christine, I think of Jacoby. So
me too.
Same
Me
here.
too.
And The Shining.
Yeah.
You're associated with Jack Torrance for me too.
Well, high praise.
You're fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, we're talking about
You strike me as a guy that could murder his entire family.
I think we all know why you're recommending Christine because it is a great story. We all know the movie. Does the book actually match up to the other Stephen King's?
It adds a different angle, and I keep hearing rumor that maybe someday they're going to do a remake, and I'm not against it. I'd like to see a different adaptation. So in the movie, it's essentially the car has its own personality, and that is the killer in the story. Spoilers to anyone that hasn't seen a movie that's like 40 years old, right?
Whoops.
But in the book, yes, the car has its own identity, but it's more so like
haunted or something.
You guys ever see Sometimes They Come Back?
Yes.
Another Stephen King.
Yeah.
It's kind of in that vein where like the former owner, Roland LeBay, haunts the car.
Okay.
And they didn't want to do that in the movie because at the time, Werewolf of London had just come out, and the friend character constantly decays and is seen present.
Yep.
That happens to the former owner of the car. He's haunting the car, but the the relationship that Arnie has with Dennis and the rest of the cast is like it's fascinating watching this person become so obsessed with something that they throw their life away. And just kind of fall victim to this lust.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
And it's incredible writing. Moving on from that though, it's going to almost sound like the Stephen King fandom list here, but my next one at number 2, it was honestly kind of hard for me to put this at number 2 because as far as a horror book goes, this might be one of my favorites. And it is Stephen King's
Drumroll.
From a Buick 8.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
You would think it's
another
Not
car one?
expecting that.
You would think it's another car story, but
What's that?
yes, there's a car in it, if you could call it a car. In the words of one of the characters in the book, maybe we only saw it as a car because our brains couldn't comprehend what it really was. Essentially, this kind of delves into the Lovecraftian aspect. There's shades of the mist in here.
Oh, nice.
But it's all told from essentially...
From a Buick 8?
No.
Okay, well, no, all right.
It takes place at a state trooper department facility, essentially on the side of some highway somewhere.
Okay.
Some kid's just lost his dad to who was a former state trooper to a drunk driver, and he really finds family in this state trooper department. So he's working there, summer jobs, and he notices this old car sitting out in their garage. And strange, weird stuff happens around the car. The temperature changes, and every now and then somebody disappears. There's no explanation, but then every now and then something appears. Something weird, something Lovecraftian that they can't explain. But it really delves into this cosmic horror that makes you wonder what's out there between worlds,
Cool. I've never even heard of that one, so.
Highly recommend it. And there is an excellent audiobook that is on par with the Pet Sematary one.
You ever seen the TV movie From a Buick 8?
Wait, what?
What?
I didn't know about that.
I'm pretty sure there's a From a Buick 8 TV movie.
If there is,
TV
I
ones.
need to see it because this book was so good.
Okay. He'll look that up, and you got one more, right?
Yes. Okay, so this book may have been my gateway / first introduction to loving graphic novels, and also coincides with my gateway into loving horror films.
Sure.
I remember being a kid and seeing the Freddy vs. Jason trailer and thinking, how cool, a bad guy versus a bad guy? And at 11 years old, that was a concept that was new to me, and I'm like, I need this. Well, anyway, I saw the movie. I loved it. They wanted to do a sequel, and I was part of that, teen fan community that's like, I want this movie. I want to see this sequel to Freddy vs. Jason. And then you heard rumblings of Michael Myers, but then you heard rumblings of Ash Williams from Evil Dead. And because the movie never got off the ground, they made the comic book adaptation of what that movie would have been, Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
Awesome.
I've read a lot of those. Those are good.
Circling back to the conversation before, this comic book may have inspired some of my comic book. Like if you notice in this book, every panel is literally framed. Whereas they framed it all in red, which is not traditional for comics.
Right.
They normally don't have frames. All of my panels are framed in orange as a tribute to the...
Is that the full...
This is the whole book.
Oh, my God.
And
This
then
is amazing.
they did a sequel.
Again, not 300 pages.
Yeah, this is... what are we maxed out at here?
I've got some singular comics that I collect, and whenever I see one, I try to buy them. They're actually kind of expensive. But yeah, those are
to find these.
Oh well, yeah. When you find like a single comic, they're running about
really
30 to 50.
There was
this looks
there was
great.
6 individual
Wow.
issues in the original series, and they combined them all into that trade paperback book.
Awesome.
I haven't seen that
Holy
all put
shit!
together.
This looks
but-
awesome.
Oh,
But yeah.
I bought this back in the day when it was coming out. I had to
Right.
order this on eBay because I missed the buck because I wasn't a regular comic book store goer.
If you went to Claremont, he'd be able to find those for you, I bet. Okay.
Actually, I had gone to Claremont. I'm like, can you get this?
Oh, and he said
Do you
no.
have these? Like, I don't have them. And I was a young, dumb
yeah,
kid.
and then I go to those comic sales around town and stuff, and yeah, they always have a few.
Yeah, it looks cool. I'm gonna check
but
that out.
they're spendy. The leather, chainsaw ones, and
Yeah,
they're all pretty expensive. But
I'm gonna
that's very
definitely
cool,
try
man.
and find that. Yeah.
And then this was the sequel they did to it, The Nightmare Warriors.
Wow. Oh, shit.
That's nice.
I'm sorry. I
Look
led
at
you
Freddie
astray.
back there.
I was thinking of wow. looks
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I led you.
I'm sorry.
Mocking me now.
Wow.
I led you astray on the From a Buick 8 movie. I was thinking of Desperation. They made into a TV movie. However, George Romero tried to direct this in 2005. And as recently as 2024, James Wan acquired the rights to the film.
God, I hope they make it.
So he's got the rights right now. It's in James Wan's hand.
It would be great. They really should.
James wants to make a movie. You ready to open the book, Jacoby?
Oh man, has anything good come from that
Well,
book
nothing
yet?
bad happened. We're not dead. It's just it just reveals to you your fear. I know that I'm not gonna be such a shut-in. So you open it up, you figure something out about yourself. Andy knows he's got to get a new job, and
So this could be actually a beneficial.
Yeah.
It's not a vision of the future.
I don't know,
It's
guys.
a way to change.
Look, I'm pretty confident in who I am. In fact, I'd go one better and say I'm the best there can be.
Oh, jeez.
Well,
Open the
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
book.
Fine, you know what?
You're ruining the book.
I'm not going to
thing.
learn anything from this book.
You're ruining book night.
Okay. Bad Karma. It's not even fucking spelled right. Who wrote this book? Karma's spelled with a K, not a fucking C.
Karma.
What the fuck are you doing with that wrench, Andrew?
Jacoby, I'm struggling. I'm trying to get these lug nuts on. I don't know what's
It's
going
fucking
wrong.
righty-tighty, not lefty. Fucking A. Who taught you how to use a wrench? Didn't you have a fucking dad to tell you how to hold a goddamn flashlight?
Actually, I didn't. I was raised by my mother, okay?
Yeah, well, she should have done a better fucking job. I could do this shit in my
Stupid
sleep.
ass Andy. Hey man, just show me where the catalytic converter is,
Shut
man.
up with
so
you and
I
your
could...
Cadillac converter. It's fucking catalytic converter, and it's idiots like you that keep me in here replacing fucking catalytic converters.
Hey, Jacoby, I don't want to be an asshole, but aren't you being a little hard on the guys? I'm over here at the counter. The customers can hear you fucking screaming.
Hard on
back
these guys.
there.
Look, these are grown-ass fucking adults, and somebody should have taught them this shit sooner before we fucking employed them here.
Yeah, you
I can
remind
do
me-
all this shit in my sleep. I shouldn't have to stop what I'm doing to fucking explain to everybody how to do their fucking job.
Hey Jacoby, how do you tighten this belt over here?
Oh, I'm gonna fucking loosen this belt and bend it over your fucking ass.
Oh, what?
Hey, Jacoby, man.
Hey, stop with that fucking wrench. I told you, it's
Jacoby.
righty-tighty, not lefty-loosey.
I know,
Give that
man.
here,
Like,
give that here.
ah,
Just fucking go
shit.
sit in a corner.
Do I check the transmission fluid when it's hot?
You
or
don't
when
fucking do shit. You go sit down right now. I can do all this shit in my sleep with my hands tied behind my back.
Jacoby, can you talk to me? I mean, I know I'm just the front desk guy, man, but I'm seriously, you're like,
Yeah, and I could do my fucking job better than you can do yours. I could do yours in my sleep.
Jesus, this guy. I'm telling you, they're not stupid, man. We found these guys. They went to school. They're just younger. They just do things a little bit different, Jacoby. If you could just relax and teach them instead of just jamming words. I remember when my dad used to scream at me when we were working on cars. I still get nightmares from this. Maybe just take it easy. You know what I mean?
Teaching was the second part of my contract. I came in here to do my job good. And I came here to do my job so I could go home and enjoy my day. But this job creates so much stress because nobody uses any fucking common sense anymore.
All right. Well, we got that new electronic lift though. Okay. So before I leave today, we just ordered it and I hooked it up. Maybe
look. Let me go reset the controls on that because I'm sure you hooked it up fucking wrong.
Hey, Mr. Jacoby, which hose is for the synthetic oil?
Would you shut the fuck up and get out of here?
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Nate, maybe he can lug these nuts.
Who even hooked this up? The negative's in the positive terminal. This new shit these days, it ain't like they built... It ain't... I need to fucking rewire this whole goddamn thing because the people at the plant didn't fucking do it right.
You ain't even from fucking New York, Jacoby. I don't know...
Yeah.
How's the new equipment? Does the new equipment work? Can you program it so that it works? So tomorrow when another guy comes in?
Yes, I'll have it rewired by the end of tonight.
Well, I need you to do it right now. I need you to do it right now before we leave.
Oh, I'll fucking get it done before we leave.
All right, well, can you do it right now?
Yeah, you just go sit down and you relax. You just watch the master work. All right, okay. Fucking A. Look at this fucking wiring. Who even needs it? Let's just fucking rip this shit out of here. I'm just going to connect this wire to the positive terminal, this wire to the negative terminal. We don't even need all this shit in between. Who fucking engineers this shit? All right. Okay, time to operate the thing. Okay, where's the lever?
Oh, you want me to operate the thing?
No, you fucking sit your ass down.
Oh, I got it, man. No problem.
All right, look, I'm so confident in the wiring I just did that I'm going to stand right underneath this car and lower it myself so that I can get a better look at the engine. And hitting the down button and... My arms! They're fucking pinned underneath the car!
Holy shit, Jacoby! Your hands!
Holy shit, that's bad karma, huh?
Oh, worst kind of karma I ever seen.
Yeah, that's so gross, but I like that joke.
Oh, man. It didn't really end well for that guy.
Yeah. Did you learn anything, man? Maybe you should be a little bit less hubris, right?
Yeah,
well,
dude.
He's kind of full of himself, and he probably should have given his employees
It was you,
a chance.
Jacoby. That was you.
Yeah, I know you're talented and everything, but you should not be treating people like that.
Don't let it go to your head, man. I mean, I know it's the fictional version of you, but come on.
All right. Oh, yeah. Look, I'm sorry, guys. I over-explain stuff. I'm just, I'm not that
Don't
good.
Apologize. It's fine.
That's crazy.
I'm just gonna give everyone a chance from here on out. And you know what? I'm not that good at everything.
Right. Now, you got some recommendations. Your last one, open the book, birthday boy.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't want to open the book, but I'll tell you the books I have been reading.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's start there.
First of all, I mean, we talked a little bit about The Long Walk with Stephen King, right?
Yeah. Well, the new movie's getting made. Yeah.
Yeah, and so call back to that earlier, but it is a very graphic novel. When they shoot these kids, I mean, guts are pouring out on the street, all that stuff. I mean, it's intense. But my favorite Stephen King book is Salem's Lot. It's one of his first ones. I love Salem's Lot.
So we were all Clive Barker. You guys are all King.
Yeah.
I was
both.
I was both.
I was both. I walked the line.
I thought Barker kind of eclipsed King, right?
Yeah. Well, Salem's Lot was like this perfect thing where he was able to. He really got the feel of the entire town going through this vampire.
It's a great book.
Yeah. It's very, very good. One of his earlier ones, and
was it his second?
I think it was his second. Yeah. It was Carrie and then Salem's Lot. Yeah. So very, very, very strong book of his. The Troop by Nick Cutter.
That's a great book. I totally forgot about that book.
It is so visceral and disturbing. It's basically about this Boy Scout troop that goes to this island, and then they get this infection, and it is like the infection that they get. I mean, they have like worms in their skin. There's this psychopathic kid that's a part of the Boy Scout troop.
Pitched as like Lord of the Flies with like some kind of like virus or infection movie.
Yeah, but it was super compelling. And then reading that, I was squirming at some of it. Like Nick Cutter was able to put stuff on the page where it made me squirm. Like it was very intense. It was very gross. This might not be a horror movie or a horror story, but And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. That is so iconic to so many horror films, particularly The Thing. That's about like 10 people that go to Soldier Island, and then they start dying one by one, and they know a killer's amongst them. And
every giallo, every slasher film.
It's so influential to so many horror movies. So it's a super compelling mystery. One that this is tough. So I wanted to read a new one that they're turning into a movie. So I put Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. They're turning that into a movie with Jessica Chastain. And it's a newer book by Josh Malerman. And it's written from the viewpoint of like an 8-year-old girl that's seeing other mommy come from her closet that wants to go into her heart. And yeah, it's like an it's like it's this person that's trying to reincarnate themselves, or this demon that's trying to reincarnate themselves by trying to get in this 8-year-old girl, but it's written from the 8-year-old girl's perspective.
Why does that remind me of a movie?
So that's the thing about it, is it's very familiar.
Oh, Talk to Me, right?
Yeah, kind of. But it's
the lost souls are trying to sneak into other people.
They don't reincarnate though.
It's very familiar. It's very like, it's honestly, it's kind of a standard almost possession supernatural story, but I wanted to include that because I know that's going to be an upcoming film in the next year with Jessica Chastain. I mean, that's like a good actress. So I mean, like, you know,
I don't know
that's
who
not.
she is.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
What's she in?
She's redheaded, and she's been in plenty of things. I don't know what to tell you, but you know her if we showed you a picture.
Was she? Is that the one that got famous for Madman?
No, that's Christina Hendricks.
That's Hendricks. Yep.
And then finally, to throw back, since I saw that Andy put Friday 6, the novelization, I put the Halloween novelization on my book.
I thought of that one.
And
that's awesome.
It's by Curtis Richards. And this is a different one that they just released with like different like illustrations and stuff in it. This is not the original novelization, but the story's the same. The story's the same, but then they added all this illustrated stuff. But it was when horror movie novelizations were good, because they took the script and then somebody that didn't see the movie before the movie was made wrote the story. And so what he puts in with Michael Myers, he brings in the legend of Samhain and all that other stuff, and Michael Myers becomes this like kind of like ancient evil of Halloween. Much more
better than the movie.
I can't say it's better than the movie, but it's pretty damn good.
But it makes
and
more
it's
sense
different.
with the ending, right?
It's different. Yeah, and there's a whole thing of like why he kills his sister and does all this stuff. And it really encapsulates him as like he's a ghost of Halloween, not so much just like this crazy kid.
That's who Michael Myers is to me. He is the boogeyman.
He is the boogeyman. And this novelization, the original novelization, actually captures that. So it's very, very cool. So that's some of my favorite horror book recommendations. Yeah, all right, so those are my book recommendations. But honestly, I don't like, after hearing your 3 stories, that creeps me out. Why don't we just try and finish this podcast and like what do we got coming up next, Corey?
Okay. So the end of May is actually super packed. We got Final Destination Bloodlines comes out the 16th. And I'm going to go see this in the IMAX theater with Ray for her birthday.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Ray too.
All right, Nate, we'll have to go see it.
This will be perfect.
Jacoby,
Yeah,
let's go see it.
let's
go together. All right.
So we're going to see that. Who thinks this is actually going to be good?
I don't necessarily think it's going to be good, but it's always a fun time.
Yeah.
It's always a fun time.
I have liked
Here's
all
what I
the Final
think.
Destination.
I watched the trailer again, and I think it's going to be really good the first time, but I think it's going to have lackluster rewatchability. I think just like every Final Destination sequel, the first time you watch it, it's entertaining, but then the second time I watch it...
I don't know.
I don't know. The first three, man, are like really fucking...
Yes.
Yeah.
I liked number 5 a lot.
Five was
On the
surprisingly
bridge.
better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they've taken a long enough hiatus. They might have had time to think this one through and think, what's going to be the
That
next?
teaser with
It's
the
got-
tattoo dude is pretty...
Right,
It's got Tony Todd.
They got a new trailer out, too.
It's got Tony Todd.
They got a new trailer out, too, where it does the grilling, where they're...
Oh, I haven't seen that.
yeah, there's another...
With
But,
grilling?
well, and it almost looks like something you just got to watch in 3D or something. I don't know. I think it's going to be great kills, great effects. It's going to be action-packed, but I don't know. I don't think the story or the acting is going to be great.
It's kind of been done to death right now.
played.
But I mean, like, we're always there for the kills in this film.
It
right?
honestly baffles me that they kind of took a hiatus when they did. This seems like a
been a
franchise
while.
that should have like at least 10 movies by now. Because I mean, think about
They'll get there.
Think about like every slasher movie or every
I'm
horror
almost glad
movie
they
we
didn't
see,
do
right?
a bunch of them in the 2000s when fucking effects were awful.
And let's be honest, it is
Yeah,
a slasher film.
That's true.
Right?
But
I mean,
okay,
it
so
is.
let,
It is a slasher
When we go to
film.
the slasher films, though, we go to see the creative kills.
Yeah.
And this movie is literally creative kill or franchises
true.
creative kills
Very
without
true.
a motive.
let's
Yeah.
go around and we'll do yay, boo, or eh. So
Okay.
boo means you think it's going to be bad. Eh means you think it's going to be okay. And then yay means you think it's going to be great.
Okay. Starting with
Nate.
starting with me.
I just did eh.
Okay.
sorry,
Starting
I'm
with
sorry.
Corey, I'll go to me. I'm gonna go.
Okay. Eh.
I'm going to go A.
Yay? That's a
Yay.
yay?
I'm with
It's
Jacoby.
in between and yay.
I was going to say
okay.
yay.
Pull
I
out
think
a
it's going to be a lot of
Fonz.
fun.
The
It-
Fonz.
like, yeah.
The Fonz response.
I think
and
it's
then-
going to be fun and maybe reinvigorate.
And then
Okay.
the week after
The
that, Netflix is releasing their follow-up to the Fear Street trilogy, and they're doing the prom night.
Yeah.
Fear
That's
Street.
cool. I didn't know that.
So that's coming out really soon. I mean, the Fear Streets were kind of designed for teens, but I thought they were pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, they got really into the teen relationships a little bit, which pulled me out of it. But that camp one was super great.
Camp one was great. I love the end of the witch one.
And with-
I didn't like the witch stuff in there, but yeah.
And I think this one, they're going to focus on one film. It's going to be one film. It's not 3. I feel like they're going to be able to take their time. I feel like honestly, I think this is going to be a yay.
You feeling good?
I think yay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go yay.
You're going yay?
I'm going yay.
What about you, Jacob?
Yay.
Yay?
I love the first 3.
Okay.
Yep, let's make it unanimous. Yay.
A 4-way yay.
A yay unanimous.
A 4-way
unanimous.
yay.
A 4-yay unanimous.
Okay. Are we all talking New York or?
Yeah, it's Jacoby's car guy, dude.
It started with the moving crew, and then it stuck.
Yeah. All right. And then on the 30th, the end of the month, a day before our next episode, Bring Her Back, the follow-up to the Talk to Me guys are making Bring Her Back. And this
Not
movie-
a Talk to Me sequel, though.
Right.
Well, no,
right? Yeah.
follow-up. It's a follow-up.
A follow-up.
The,
Is
the
it?
director team follow-up. Well,
Oh, their follow-up.
I mean,
but
yeah, it's like
Their
their
second movie.
yeah.
their first
second
one, and now this is their second one. I don't know, like I've watched this trailer quite a few times, and it's got a really gritty look. I think it's dark, and I don't know, man, but they got a really good movie, and they're not giving you shit in the trailer. I don't know if it's going to be as good as Talk to Me, but I think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be funny.
Yay, or nah?
Yay.
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 Nah.
Nay? Is that it's not
That's
even
a
an F?
nay.
That's a nay?
Nay.
Think it's going to be bad?
Nah.
What do you think? It's going to be boring or something?
Okay, controversial opinion. I didn't care for Talk to Me.
Oh, that's
shit.
a hot take.
There
Our
we
first
go.
hot take.
There we go.
Does not identify well with the young people. And that's funny because he's the youngest one. Remember, he couldn't run the computer in his...
I was raised by old people.
Yep.
Maybe that's it.
Okay.
What are you thinking? Yay?
My dad was born in 1938.
I'm going
but
to give him the
okay.
benefit of the doubt here. I think the second film, yay. Yeah.
Yay. Okay.
The first one was so
three
good.
A's and an A.
All right.
Okay.
So that's coming up at the end of May. We also, our next episode, me and Nate are going to come back with the horror of 2005.
Oh, yeah.
There's a couple heavy hitters in there, but
Hostel.
I'm
Hostel is. Yeah.
I'm 10 movies in, and I already have 4 half stars.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Any teasers?
Of the half star ones.
Yeah, give us one.
Chaos, Blood Rain,
Oh, Chaos.
Doom.
Wait, Blood Rain?
Doom's fun.
I get all these half stars. Yeah.
Man, I'm not a half
I get
star.
'em,
Doom's
yeah.
kind of fun.
Doom's,
I liked Doom. I thought, I like the latter half of
it
Doom.
ain't making a top 10.
But yeah, there is like
Chaos is fucking brutal, though, man. Like, there's
but it's
some, but that's all it
it's
is.
such a fucking.
Is that that guy that like took over Code Red?
Yes.
Oh my god.
We gotta.
Dark Force Entertainment.
Yes. David, whatever is.
We gotta
fucking-
save some of the
DeFalco.
talk for
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
episode,
David
guys.
DeFalco.
We gotta-
Blood Rain, the vampire hunter?
That's Uwe
The Michael
Uwe
Madsen.
Uwe Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're talking about these movies next episode. Okay, not right now.
I'm just excited. I'm like, 05. Like, oh yeah.
I gotta get my ranking in now. I'm not in next episode.
Nate, it's your birthday.
Yeah.
You gotta
your birthday.
open the book.
But it's my birthday. I don't need to open the book. If
I know that on your birthday you're supposed to do whatever you want.
Guys,
rub your
This is
feet,
this
do all
is
these
Corey's
things.
gift, man. He found this book
Dude,
or
you know how
bought
much
this
I
book
paid
online.
for this magical book, and it was so, dude. Jacoby's changing his ways. I'm changing my ways. He's
I'm
thinking about
changing
getting a
my
different
ways.
job.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, man.
What
like,
are you afraid of? We're gonna see some dark secret. You got some dark secret you don't want anybody to know about?
No.
Okay, well then,
No.
be a sport on your birthday, Buck, and open the book.
Party's all for you, man.
Open the book, guys. Cheer
You're the
them on.
main event.
Open the book. Open the book.
Open the book.
Jesus.
Open the book.
All right. I'll open the book. Fuck. I hate this fucking Creep Chronicles.
The Creep Chronicles.
All right.
What does it say?
The Telltale author? Oh man. Okay. I am so fucking nervous right now. I got a writing group here and okay, all right. I'm cliched and talking to myself in the mirror right now, trying to get myself pumped up, but I got the writing group downstairs, and this... Oh, I don't want him to read my book. Fucking, why did I write erotic fiction? This is fucking weird. Okay, this is a really weird thing to do, but... Okay, look, if I get some peer review, I could probably fucking...
Hey, man, you got nothing to worry about. This is some of the hottest stuff I've ever read before.
What? What? Who's that?
It's me, man. It's you. This erotic fiction is some of the hottest, sexiest stuff I've ever read. And they're gonna love it. And you're gonna make so much money out of this. This is your whole career. This is your whole life, man.
Wait, who is it?
I'm in your head, man. I'm in your head. And trust me, you're gonna love every word you read. And it's gonna be some of the sexiest shit. It's gonna make them so horny. They're gonna go home and they're gonna have so much hot sex.
Well, that's weird that this is the voice in my head. But okay, I'm strangely, I am ready to go. Oh my god, I'm ready to let them give me some peer review on my erotic fiction. All right, Hey guys. First of all, thank you for reading all this stuff. This is the first erotic fiction book I've ever written. Corey, Andy, Jacoby, you guys are so talented, and I want you to be brutally honest with me.
The book we just read?
Yeah.
The erotic fiction?
Yeah, it's erotic fiction. So see, Esmeralda really, I mean, like, okay, she was trapped, and she just never.
You're talking about the first girl in the book, the first character.
Yeah, Esmeralda, right? Yeah, Esmeralda. Like she was.
You're talking about the lady that was fed to live pigs while she was alive, the one that got dipped in syrup and honey, that got rolled down the hill into the pig pen by starving pigs and was ate alive while she screamed and moaned and shat herself. This was some of the most disgusting, vile stuff I've ever read in my life. And actually, wasn't there that story in the news about the farm massacre where they found the bones, the lady bones, that they couldn't figure out who they were?
Hey man, don't worry about that. Just because they're not into food, play, with sex, it doesn't matter. This is some of the hottest stuff I've ever read. You got this, okay? Pouring honey on a girl, yeah, making sweet, sweet love to her, all this stuff. You're gonna love
Mixing honey and blood. That is not. There's nothing erotic about this. I have a weird feeling that this is something that you did.
See, no, Esmeralda was repressed, or Esmeralda was repressed.
Did you read the book?
I did. Like, Corey, let's give him the benefit of the doubt here. Maybe,
yeah, no, Esmeralda was repressed by her parents.
It seems real.
These details are eerily similar to that case that was in the newspaper, right? But maybe
the unsolved case.
Yes.
What are you guys talking about?
Maybe he just took inspiration, right? Right.
Look, Esmeralda was totally repressed by her parents, and when she met Martin, it was just like it was unreal. It was love at first sight, and like, look, they had such a strong, intimate affair.
What about the second lady in the book, the Act 2?
Oh, Diane?
Yeah, if it was so much love, then why the second? What was her name?
Diane.
What did you get of the Diane Act 2 story?
Trust me, dude. Like, Diane's story was way hotter than that first one. If they didn't like this one, they're definitely gonna love this one.
Yeah, Corey, now that you mention that.
He thinks it was sexy.
Diane. Okay, so
what happened to Diane?
I think I'm going to be sick from what happened to Diane.
Well, no, okay. Like, Diane was a look. She was almost 18. She fell in love with a guy that was 30. I know it's a little like May, June, July type of thing.
That isn't even what happened. What? Explain what happened.
What do you mean?
How could a human mind even come up with such atrocities?
What?
How did that death happen?
It was a love story.
Most of the details I blanked out. I just remember they found her in that suitcase. Well, part of her in the suitcase.
What?
They ripped her to pieces and they shoved her in a suitcase.
That's not even
what happens.
That's not even the worst part. What? She was alive as he fed her arm through a hand-cranked meat grinder, followed by the rest of her piece by piece. And then her hair ripping her scalp off.
They shut down that warehouse because they found that one storage shed with all the meat, the grinded meat inside of the suitcase.
No.
And they didn't even know what it was.
No,
they didn't even know if it was human or what. But that really happened.
No, what are you guys talking about? No, this was an older gentleman that fell in love with a younger girl. It was a forbidden love type of thing. Like, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Look, these guys don't understand what you're trying to put down on paper, man. This is some forbidden love. This is Romeo and Juliet of the modern day. This is some of the hottest stuff that's gonna make 50 Shades of Grey be like 1 shade of gray.
Why are you staring off into the abyss?
What do you...
You just dazed off for
well, I was
15
just
seconds.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking about the story that
This isn't an erotic thriller.
It's not.
No, this one isn't. The second
What
story
about
was
the
a love
ending?
story.
What about the ending?
The third story?
You think that it gets romantic?
Well,
then?
the third story is ultimately a climax, and it calls back to the other two about the forbidden love and how love conquers all.
Jacoby, you read the ending, right?
Unfortunately, I did. I've also reported these crimes to the police because they're just so eerily similar.
Wait, what?
Tattletale.
What? What? Police?
Well, what happened?
About?
What happened?
There was reports last week about that young lady that was dragged by the back of a pickup truck through all kinds of terrible road.
Right.
What do you think happened? It was a drive-in date or something?
What are you talking about? No, Julia was
She was skinless.
No, she was not skinless. That never happens in the stories. Look, Julia, she was in a loveless marriage, and she decides to explore the world. She was married at 18 in a loveless marriage, and she never found herself, and she wanted to explore the rest of the world, and so she went on a vacation to.
This is literally a book about a serial killer.
Herself.
They found her remains along the highway over a stretch of 60 miles.
What are you guys talking about?
This is a book about the murdering of 3 18-year-old girls.
Look, man, these guys just don't get it. They don't know what love is. They don't know what sex is. These guys, man, you're the best writer I've ever heard of.
Nate, I think I just want to tell you that I told you I'd read your book, and I told you I'd give you honest feedback.
Yeah.
And you're semen delusional.
Semen?
I'm not. You're semen delusional.
Okay.
And I honestly, I think you've been blacking out and killing people or something.
That's ridiculous. These are
I
three
think you're
love stories. This is supposed to make you fall in love again.
The murder of 3 18-year-old girls.
What?
And there's been a lot of runaway things, and this isn't that big of a town.
No.
Nathan,
We thought they ran away together, but I think you killed them.
Nathan,
And I think you fell in love with them.
I have one question for you.
Yeah.
Why do the names of the characters in your book match the descriptions of the missing women that the police have been looking for?
Guys,
name matches a description, but he's gone to something
straight from my brain, guys. Like these are supposed to be 3 sensual and important love stories. I mean, this is supposed to make you rediscover love again.
I just don't.
Hey
think
guys, cuddle it. No.
Okay,
Come here, guys. I don't know what to do, guys. I'm not usually the snitch type, but
you don't have to worry
we
about
gotta
it.
keep
I already ratted him out.
Okay, and then should we just keep them busy until we hear the sirens, and then
Yeah. Okay. I could talk to him about how it's
I
not
hate a
really
guy to go-
it's not really erotic fiction, but
nothing
it's something
sexy
else,
about it.
right? It's like a serial
it's
killer
kind of a
crime,
good
true
killer
crime.
movie.
True crime. Maybe it's
true crime. It's true crime. Nate, this is one of the best true crimes I've ever read. You're going to jail, bud. You're gonna go to jail.
I sent the text 5 minutes ago when you basically confessed to everything.
Don't listen to these animals. They don't know anything about what they're talking about. You have wrote some of the most important love stories of the modern day century. Never mind those sirens outside the window.
Yeah,
never mind.
They're coming
those
for you, Nate.
lights.
Stop staring off like
What do you mean?
Goofball.
Sirens and lights.
The sirens and lights, they're just here because your work was so good they're making a parade for you. They brought everyone in the town to celebrate how good you've been writing.
Where is he? Where's the guy? Where's the killer?
Jesus.
Who's it?
Everyone on the ground.
ECPD,
right
police. Where is he?
Put your hand
which
where we
one
can
is
see
he?
him.
All you guys look like killers. Who? What the fuck?
Jesus.
Which one's the killer?
Jacoby, what'd you do?
It's him. It's Nate. It's
what?
Nate. It's
Nathan,
the
that
birthday
guy,
guy.
right
They have
there.
the
What are
birthday
you
hat
talking
on.
about? Like, no.
Yeah.
What, me? I just...
coming with me. You're coming with me, man. You're a murderer, you piece of garbage.
Get off me. I wrote some erotic
Come
fiction.
with me. Come
Hands
with
behind
me.
your back.
Don't let them take you alive.
What? Are you Yeah, fuck this. No way, man.
I think he's got a weapon. Open fire.
Oh, my God.
Fuck, Nate's fucked up.
Should add
Guys, I just really wanted to turn you guys on.
All right,
What
Nate.
the fuck was that?
Damn,
What the
man.
hell?
The book
man?
don't lie. Creep Chronicles doesn't lie.
I don't want to read this shit anymore. Like this is the worst birthday ever.
Maybe. Yeah. Wow, Nate. Wow.
What do you mean, wow, Nate? I didn't write that, guys.
Dude, it's clearly showing us that you are.
I didn't write
plan
that.
to murder young women
I don't want to murder
at the price of making an erotic fiction novel.
Wow, that's that. I
Watch your P's and
I've
Q's.
dabbled in erotic fiction. I've never murdered.
Maybe the lesson here
girl.
is that, Savage Horror Creeps book night, not a great idea.
Stick to movies, guys. Let's stick to movies.
So.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Thanks for coming, Jacoby. I can't wait to get my hands on your book, read your book.
Can't wait
Can't
for
wait
you to
to
get
read
your
your
hands
book.
all over my book.
Congratulations, everybody. Nate, never write a book. Never. What? Never finish a book. I mean, never read a
you
book.
brought the Creep Chronicles, man. This is
maybe it's a good thing.
Are the police outside? Corey's been picking on me this entire class, man. And
Fucking.
Yeah, he did it.
Uh-oh.
Okay, started. Corey's been picking on me all class.
Okay, start there.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.